Oh, is this Kenneth Nelson? Hi, Kenneth. My name is Eric. I'm calling from recovery from 2 weeks ago. In regards to one information, if you have long, you know what's going on? Yeah, yeah, no problem.
Give me a second.
Okay, did you want me just to re-email you the information just in case? Yeah, definitely. And the email we have on file is knelson079@gmail.com. Is that a good email to send it to? Yeah, the letter K, Nelson079. Okay, no problem. I'll go ahead and mail this out. No problem. I'll go.
You guys hear me? Where is my boys?
Okay.
But first, what I want to get out of the way is who here is fairly like new to trading? Because I don't want to jump into all the little technicals if someone's not gonna understand it. So if you're fairly new, how do I check this? Oh, there you go. Yep. To what? Like if you're okay, so everyone knows. One second. Let's see if I can see.
You're a clown, fam. You're a clown for room.
Kevo, what up, baby?
Who's this?
James.
Get out of here.
Fine, I'm leaving.
I'm just
I'm going to Bueller's. I'm going to Bueller's chat.
Go ahead.
Like the same thing. He's like your protege, you know?
Yeah. You're funny, bro.
One
You're
of seven.
You're hilarious for that. I'm so dead. Hey, I'm gonna need you to be there for Saturday if we do that one.
Which one? The Greeks?
Yeah.
I got
Shit,
you.
you understand that more than me, bro. Honestly. I
It's
mean, you
my
can explain
favorite
it
part
better
about
than
options,
better than
man.
I can. You and the other James. You guys both.
Neuro Nash? Yo, I'm trying to order his soda, bro.
All right.
Oh my god, drink.
I'm gonna keep this chat up. Now I'm gonna go over Greece. I'm not gonna go over Greece today, bro. I'm gonna go over Greece. It's gonna be Saturday. It's too much. Like there's literally a lot. How does everyone's okay? Whose chart looks like this? All right, with the volume bar all blue, with the freaking candle not filled up. I'm gonna show you guys how I set up my thing. All right. You guys can see my screen, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can turn on your voice if you want. Like, doesn't matter. All right.
You hear me?
Yeah. The settings, right? You can literally set this up however way you want to. Let me see if I can set this to default. Is this default? I'm pretty sure this is how it comes if you barely first all right.
Yeah, that's how mine looked in the beginning before I switched.
So I go to time axis, right? Expansion area. I set it to 50. Let's see how it looks, right? So look on the right side. Look right here. Right, look to your right. Bam. Gives you some space, right? This way you can kind of anticipate what's gonna happen next. Right? So you can do that so you can see it. So time axis, take off the rollover lines, take off the expiration Friday, take off the year markings. Go to appearance. You go to fill up. So it's all filled up. Honestly, if you guys like this candle better, the Heiken, use that. I fill this in, the volume bars, color as symbol ticks. So if it's like a doji, it's white. If it's bullish, it's green. If it's bearish, it's red, right? All right, Nick. I have it on 50 on my phone too. That's probably why you're losing your trades, because you don't have that thing at 50. I'm just playing with you, bro.
Dude, the expansion makes a huge difference when you're setting your trend line in your channels.
Exactly. Like, let me show you how it looks if you don't have it on, all right? Let me show you
got a
how
pattern right there
shitty it
anyway.
looks. You want to make a trend line? Wow, that's
Yep,
it,
that's
right?
it.
That's it. Okay, no. This is a better example, right? You want to make a trend line, right? Like this. Or like this. You want to make a trend line like this.
No, I leave on time. That's our plan. That way, this way. I knew it. I figured. Yeah.
Like it just doesn't look right? It doesn't look right because you don't know. You know what I mean? It doesn't give you. You can anticipate more things if you do that. 50. Then I'll go to equities. I don't like to see the extended hours for some reason. That's just like me personally. I don't need to see that. It'll only show when you're on like the 5-minute chart, by the way. 10, you're on a 5, 15, 30. And then you can take these little dots off too if you want.
I wish I forgot about
Appearance, there's a grid, there's a check mark right here. So it looks clear, right? It looks better.
You look so much better, man.
Yeah, so if you want to see the extended hours, it's going to look like this. See? You see how you can tell the days? Yeah, I'll just leave it on like this.
Yeah, that's how mine looks.
I like the old. I don't like the after hours on like the smaller time frames.
Yeah, me neither, because it looks kind of like bunched up.
Incomplete.
Yeah. I only like to look at it if it's like pre-market, right? If it's not even that. If it's like tomorrow, like let's say tomorrow, let's say it's like 5:30 in the morning, right? I like to look at it then, but not like right now if I'm showing people. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like watching Spire or like one of the 24-hour like IWM, for the Russell. You can have the overnight on because those are active overnight.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like the futures, shit like that. You can. It's always gonna keep moving, right? All right. So I went over this yesterday. I'm gonna go over it again. When I make my support and resistances, I first start off going on the weekly chart. Always. You don't want to just jump into the fucking 30-minute chart and start fucking. You don't want to do this and start doing this some random shit. You know what I mean? Like, no. The point of making these lines is so you know, right? You know where buyers and sellers are. Because understand. Let me see. Where's that thing at? Damn, it's not showing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what you're saying, Ben. What the hell?
You go a weekly chart. This is so you know when the buyers are going to step in or when the sellers are going to step in, right? Support resistance. That's basically what it is. Buyer stepping in, seller stepping in.
That's a 3-year chart?
This is a 3-year, 1 week. It's like on default. It's perfect, honestly. You don't have to worry.
That's Mars bag right there, right?
Like I'm looking at
the radio and the.
How do you draw the white line without? Oh, here, look. So you want to go on tools, right?
Yeah.
You want to go on active tools, and then you want to go on price. This one is called price level. So the reason why I have it like this, right? So first, if you don't have, because I set it like this.
You looking at the stock market? Yeah, you know. Nah, just for the little. Yeah, man. What you up to, man? Not that much, you.
All right, I had to mute some people. So basically, price level, right? Price level. When you first make it, it's not going to be extended. You got to right click it. You got to edit the properties. First off, you got to show the price on the right or the left, whether you know, this is the right. And then if you want it on the left, it depends. It's all your preference, honestly. I like it on the right. You can change the color because it's going to be red. The default one is red, so I changed to white. And then I do one of these dashes, right? And then I put right extension and left extension on, because there's off and then there's on. So you turn it on. And then what you want to do is you want to save it as default. So whenever you do it, it's just going to do this, right? It's just going to do it for you. So like I said, you want to go on the weekly chart, 3 year, 1 week. Like this is Netflix. Netflix is at 332. I'm not going to care about 151, 140, you know what I mean? It's definitely not going to dip back down there anytime soon, right? So you want to find a good range when you're making support and resistance. First, you want to find a bottom and a top. So for me, this is the bottom, right? Not this, because like I said, Netflix isn't going to go down here anytime soon, so I don't really care about that. Top, this I consider the bottom, because this week was where it bounced, right? Each candle, when you're looking at a weekly chart, each candle represents 1 week. So week. So this is 4 months. This is a whole month. 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 Each of these candles are strong. Like, this is how I can find like swings or shit like that. Like, it's really
So that would be a
strong.
1 week chart.
A 1 week, 3 year chart. It's this right here. If you go here, it's 3 year, 1 week. There's the one that has WK on there. So first find the top, find the bottom, and then you want to do at least 2 to 3 touches. You can do 1 because it's a weekly. You got to understand, when it's a weekly chart, it's stronger because that means that throughout that whole week, that's where it found support and resistance, right?
Yes.
So this is 1 right here, right? This is 1. Why is this 1? Because it touched here, touched here, touched here, touched here. It doesn't have to touch like right on there. It's not going to be perfect. As long as it's close to it. If it's off by like
So what's
2
that
cents,
now that you said it? What is that line?
this line,
Yes.
it's the price level tool right here.
Oh.
So you go down, right? Are you looking at your screen right now?
Yeah.
So go on the bottom, go to your little drawing tools. And then,
Okay.
because what a lot of people do is, like, if they don't use the price level, they use this little trend line thing, right? So what they'll do is they'll do this, like they'll do that instead. It's not straight.
That's what I used to do. Yeah. How did you get it with mix that line with that?
No, that's exactly what I'm gonna show you. Like, this isn't straight. Like, I used to do that a long time ago. I try to make it as straight as I can. It takes me like 5 minutes, right?
No, the price level
don't work.
The price
So
level.
you want to go
much
down.
better.
You want to click price level. When you first click price level, it's gonna be red. Like I said earlier, it's gonna be red. So you want to edit it, edit properties, right? You right click it, edit it. You can change the color. It's default is red. If you like red, then keep it on red. But usually what I do is, like if I'm using a 5-minute chart, I'll make the price level, like if I'm gonna buy something, I'll make it like green, and then if the price hits and then I want to buy puts, I'll make it on red. So it's just more appealing to me.
Yes.
But anyways, price level, edit, white, and then you can change your style. You can make it, thick like that if you like it like that, and you can make it all dashy, and you can make it thicker.
Yeah, we got it, man. Thank God.
Like that.
Way more better than the other way.
You want to click this show price on the right or the left, wherever you like the price shown. left
see,
extension on, right extension on. And then you want to click save as default, because then you're gonna have to keep doing that process over and over and over again if you don't save it as default.
Save as default and not to always be there.
Yeah, it's always gonna be there. Like this is me clicking once, bro. One click.
No,
one
this
click,
is
you know what I mean?
this
That's
is gonna
the
be
wavy.
life changing for you guys.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
so support resistances on the weekly chart. You don't have to worry more. You don't have to worry as much on, like, you know how there's like a 3-touch rule you got to follow or whatever. You don't have to really worry about that because it's a 1 week chart. Like, you gotta understand that's like 5 trading days where it's found support or resistance at that level. So this, because this is just 1 touch, right? But this is where it bounced. So for me, that's a key level because that's where the price bounced. That's where it decided to head back up.
Yes.
So I made one there, and I made one at the top. This one isn't really touching it, but it's like 50 cents away on this one, so it doesn't really matter. It's still there. And then I'm gonna make this one right here. Right, I'm gonna show you guys why. Right here. I'm only making these ovals to show you guys. Obviously, I don't make these ovals like when I'm doing it. So,
Dude, that would drive
now
me
there's
crazy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like this. Okay, look. People ask like this question, right? If the wick is like when, like where is it? Like when it's support or resistance? Is it where the wick ends, right? Or is it where this thing ends right here, like this right here? Is it that? You know what I mean? For me personally, it's more it's the wick. It's the wick because that's where the wick, the end of the wick is where the price is, where this end right here, that's where this end of the wick. That's where people bought, right?
Yeah, you guys want to look at that as like that's a whole zone. Like it's not necessarily just that one line people are buying at. Like it's an area, give it a couple if it's,
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm
give it
showing
a dollar or
weekly
two to
chart.
work
So
with.
if you look at this on a daily chart, you're gonna see, like, you know what I mean? It is a whole zone basically. So okay, that's where buyers stepped in. Now let's make more, right? You don't want to make too much on a weekly chart because you're gonna go down the frame. So you want to make whichever you think is the most, the strongest. So
I love Netflix.
This is one. This is one right here. This is one. This is one. You see how it's so close to each other? Even though it's close to each other, that's a $10 difference.
Yeah, because it's on the weekly, so it looks like that smaller.
Exactly. Because when you start zooming it in,
it gets bigger.
Exactly. You see how all these levels touched? You see how right here?
Yeah.
You see how if you had this line right here, right, you would know that this was resistance today because, look, it tried breaking it, but it didn't. It was already up like a lot, so, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, that acted as a resistance today. Right?
It always, these points always, for some reason, they always act as an area of where buyers and sellers step in. Ridiculous. Even algos know that shit, like algorithms.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So let me make more. It's not enough. This one is good.
Yeah, you'll see those like golden sweep levels, like right at where that candle bounced that he had around that. Was it the 240 level? Like a flow algo, they'll spit that level out and be like, golden sweep or
dude,
whatever.
That's crazy. The crazy part about it.
Then you'll see like 1,500 contracts and like, you know, crazy shares being bought.
All right, this is good enough for the weekly, to be honest. All right, that makes sense, right? That part makes sense, right? So now you want to go to the daily chart.
Look at that beauty.
You guys know what this is right here?
A gap.
Yep.
Where is this going? Where do you think Netflix is heading?
On its way up.
Past that gap level. Right
So
there.
now you want to keep making more support and resistance, right? So you see that Netflix broke through here. You think that it's going to go all the way up to 341, but you got to understand there's some sellers right here. All right. 336.
336.
And today stopped out at around 332.30ish. Where this little guy found support.
That's a fat candle Netflix has.
But I don't think it's strong enough to hold that down. I think it's just gonna break through it. Honestly, it's just one day. Just
That
happened to
price
buy
action looks pretty strong on Netflix.
Definitely looks strong.
And we're gonna get in on calls and scalp it.
You make it like this. It's better. All right. So once Netflix breaks 336 right here, right? Once it breaks this area, right? Because they found support here, so this is where this support is gonna become resistance here. Once it breaks this area, you have all this open space right here. Basically, this open space. This is like a swing area right here. This is where, like, once it breaks this, you can attempt to swing it and make this the profit target, or make this the profit target wherever the gap started. So daily resistance support. There's one. Let me see. All right, there's one here. By the way, this is how you. No, I don't use RSI anymore, honestly, because I'm scalping, right? When I'm scalping, I don't have enough time to be looking at all these indicators. It's just gonna distract you.
Yeah, the candles tell you, like, when there's like a loss of momentum, you'll notice it. You'll notice the candles are fat at the end, and then they'll start to get smaller.
But if you're gonna day trade, right? I'll go over that later. If you're gonna day trade, then you could use indicators. It becomes helpful, especially like stochastics, things like that. But you don't want to put too much on there.
Si estás diciendo que no soy perfecto, es que estás faltando el respeto a Dios. No. Porque Dios me hizo, entonces yo soy perfecto.
Tus actos no son perfectos.
So let me see if I can find more. Right here. This is one too.
Oh, بوند الحياة.
All right, this is enough. This is enough for the daily, because like I said, you don't want to make it too crowded. Why the hell is my TOS like a grid? Right here, bro. You go right here. You go to settings. You go to appearance. This grid thing, there's a check mark, right? You can turn it on. You can turn it off. If I turn it on, it's gonna look like this. It just looks freaking crazy. You can take it off, so it's clear. You like scalping SOP, but you can't get filled. Well, don't scalp that, bro. You want to scalp something that's freaking volatile. So the aim here is to fill the gap, right? Obviously, you got to kind of look at the whole market to see how it's doing. Futures, bullish. I'm gonna go over this later too, but for now, support and resistance. From the daily, you want to go jump into the 4 hour. With having so many levels on your chart, this is actually a lot of noise. All right, understand this. All right, look at the price levels on the right. So tell me if from 331 to 336 is a lot of noise. That's a $5 move. You want a $5 move. That's a lot. Understand that that's a lot. So it's not like I'm making price levels with like
from 323 and 323.20, 323.9, 325, 325.50. I'm not doing that. Does that make sense?
What's that noise?
Someone in the background.
Somebody in the car.
Okay, good. I understand. Like, okay, like if I show you, okay, if I show you my scalping thing, bro. Let me show you. Let me show you this. You tell me this. That's a lot of noise. That's noise right there, right?
No,
that's noise, right?
Yeah.
But
Damn, man, that's so much live in your scalp.
I love it.
Let me show you something that's even worse. You want me to show you Tesla, bro? It's how my Tesla.
God. Let me see Tesla.
I might have
traded Tesla today, right?
Oh no! Wait, no. Hold on.
I can see it down there.
I took it off because I think I was.
Bro, I feel you so hard on that fallen wedge up there.
This one. Because I clear this shit out sometimes too.
Dude, you have to. It gets bad.
Oh, there. That's a bad one. Because you gotta understand, if you're looking at from weekly, you're like, fuck, what the fuck is all this, right? But then you go on the 1 minute, it gets a little more better. It gets a little more clear, you know what I mean? So let me go to Netflix, right? You guys look at the weekly, right? Okay, look, that looks like a lot of noise. But then when you go on the 1 minute,
it looks clean.
Looks clean, right? That's how I make my watch list too. Like it's literally price level. Look at this.
And that's all price action telling them this. That's no, there's no indicators.
See how I made the price level from like different supports and resistances from back then, and it still hits right here. Gets rejected, breaks. Gets rejected, breaks. You know what I mean? These things are always hitting for some reason. All right, daily, you move on to the 4 hour. This is why I don't like to see that fucking daily thing. Extended hours, you can take that off. It makes it look cleaner. So now you move on to the 4 hour. If you can't find anything on the 4 hour, don't even bother. Or this is a good one.
Shop's pretty good on the 4 hour. If you're looking for a good one on the 4 hour.
I'm gonna look at that after. This is a decent one too. And then this one. And this one. All right, now I'm good.
1 minute?
That's a 4 hour chart.
1 minute? 4 hour, 1 minute?
Huh?
No.
180 days. 180 days, 4 hour.
Oh, okay.
When you set S&P lines, does it always reject and then break? It depends. It depends on like the volume. It depends. There's a lot of things that factor into this. Like, just because you make a resistance, just because you made a resistance to support yesterday, doesn't mean it's gonna break it today. It doesn't mean that it's gonna reject it either. So you don't know. You're just, when you're trading, you're kind of playing it by ear. You're playing as it goes. If that makes sense. Because one Trump tweet is gonna mess up your whole fucking trade, right? I'm pretty sure everyone's been through that. I've been through that. That shit's crazy.
Oh my god, bro! My biggest loss on SPX because of
let me show you guys an ugly like price action, right?
Alta.
Alta. Okay, Alta.
A lot of sideways fucking trading.
All right, right here. This is kind of a good example, right? This is not that much volume, but okay. So it looks strong, right? Broke through the resistance. Went up. I don't have lines right here because I wasn't looking at this. Went up, right? This is a flag. Right, you would think that because that at one point this green was probably this candle was probably green, this one's probably green too. You see, there's like buying pressure right there. Next thing you know, this thing tanks, right? It takes longer for this. It's faster for this to tank than it took for it to go up. that's the thing about like when you get into something and then it sells off. Sell-offs are just straight.
Yeah, look at the 1 year
crazy,
or the weekly. You can see how drastic it was.
And then when that happens, you're over here panicking because you're trying to sell your position and you can't, because every time you try to sell, it keeps going down faster than your thumbs.
Stop limit orders.
4 hour, right? I already finished the 4 hour chart. 1 hour. So one thing I want to mention about these levels is that you want to look them over every day. You don't. Once you start getting into the lower time frames, you want to, like for me, like if I make a 5 minute price level, if it hits tomorrow and it's way beyond it, I'm not going to keep that on there. I'm going to delete it. Like, I don't need it anymore, right? I'm not going to use it anymore. Like, for example, Amazon, I'm not going to use this anymore, right? Because this is a 1 minute frame. I'm not going to use this anymore. I'm not going to use this anymore. It's just like Billy said, it's going to create noise, especially when you're doing it on 1 minute. So since the price already had hit, right, I don't need to use it anymore. Because I'm pretty sure it's not going to tank another freaking $30 tomorrow. I mean, if it does, I'll remake it, but Netflix. 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute. So now that you have all your levels, right, you basically have all of it. You can, I don't really like making it on a 5 minute unless it's like before the market opens. Unless it's before the market opens and you're about to get into something, that's when you want to make your 5 minute resistance and support. Because I like making support and resistance during pre-market, because usually these stocks create like pre-market after hour highs, whatever.
Yep.
That's when I started doing it. But if I want to, let's say you want to trade Netflix tomorrow, right? So what you do now is, you see how we made these price levels? You see how this is 333?
Yeah.
So you want to write, okay, tomorrow for Netflix, right? You're going to watch this level. 333.22, right? So when the level breaks above, when the price breaks above, that's when you want to enter calls. And then your profit target would be 336, your next resistance. It's that simple. People will be charging fucking $200 a fucking month for this type of shit. It's literally that simple. Once the price breaks this, more than likely it'll create enough volume for it to propel it to here.
So, bro,
Does
you
that make
said
sense?
when you put these lines, you don't check it on a 5 minute, only on a 15 minute?
Well, I only check it on the 5 minute if it's before the market opens.
Yes,
right?
okay.
Before the market opens. I don't need to check it now, because if you look at there's always after hours movement, bro. So you don't know what it's gonna do after hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you add it now, you're only creating more noise to your chart, because you're going into the smaller time frame. So it's really gonna affect you when you're trading. Because what do you guys trade with? 5 minute charts or 1 minute charts?
I do 5 minute more often.
Exactly. So if you have a lot of shit on your 5 minute chart, how is it gonna feel if you have, like, you know what I mean, all this shit? You're gonna be like, where the fuck do I get in? You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Fuck.
So you usually do 15 minute for the most part when you have these lines, do you?
So like these lines that I just made.
Yes.
Hold on. I just fucking forgot which one I did. No, I'm good now. All right. So these lines were made from a weekly, a daily, a 4 hour, and at most a 1 hour. Like, that's it. I don't go for looking at breaks. If I'm looking for something tomorrow to trade, I don't need to look at a 1 minute a 1 minute chart to figure out support and resistance for it, unless it's when tomorrow comes, I wake up in the morning, 5:30, whatever. I look at my chart. I look at what's happened after hours in pre-market. Because usually what'll happen is, let me show you guys. Let me turn this back on. Five-minute chart. All right, look. This shaded is what? After hours pre-market, right?
Yes.
After hours pre-market. After hours pre-market. So these things move, right? After hours pre-market. So right here, you can see that, okay, let's say this is today. Let's say this is today. And
Okay.
we're currently, let's say it's currently 6:25, right? Or let's say it's currently 6 o'clock in the morning, right? I'm Pacific time, so market opens at 6:30. So this is what I would do, right? So these lines I had already made from the day before, right? So now I'm looking at after hours. Oh, okay. Netflix, didn't really do much after hours until pre-market, until 5 in the morning when it started to really gain some buying pressure. So you see this candle right here?
Yes, the bearish candle.
That's a top, right? For the 5-minute chart, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make that a line, right? You want to make that a line. So now,
like resistance sort of.
I'm sorry, I should make it this right here. Make it a 1-minute chart. So like, look, 1-minute chart, right? You make that line. This is what I do, right? Let me show you guys what I do in the morning. Okay. As soon as the market opens, right? Look, you guys see this big candles? You guys see this big candle right here?
Yeah, huge.
This is from a 1-minute chart, right? So this move took 1 whole minute to form, from 324 to 326.70. 324 to 320. So that's already a $2 and something move
in a minute,
right when the market opens, right? So today, this is how I got in my scalps today, right? So I figure out what I'm gonna look at right at the open, right? So, like for example, I looked at Netflix today. I don't think this was today, but like this is a perfect example because Netflix gapped up. If you guys didn't see it, gapped up. You see it? Gapped up, right?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, gapped up. What is this? 320. Gapped up $4, whatever. You would think that it's gonna gap down, right?
You would think, yeah. After those,
yeah, exactly. Because you would think it's gonna gap down. So what I would do is, you see how, okay, it gets rejected here. 2 candles gets rejected, whatever. That's nothing. So when the market opened, right? Opened up here. This is where I don't know if you guys know how candles work, but this is open, right? This is open. This is closed. When you see these wicks, right? So someone tell me, what did this candle do at first? Did it go up first or go down first?
Down first.
So it went down, right? Saw some sellers, right? Saw people were trying to short this, right? Literally, when this happens right at the open, you're like, all right. So it's going down, and then it forms that wick, right? It goes back up. It goes back up slowly, blah, 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 blah. And then you see how you set this level right here?
Yes, I said it was just.
All right. This is just for me. All right, I'm not telling anybody to copy what I do because I be risking shit sometimes, right? So literally, once it breaks this level and I see the volume start increasing, right? Because the volume increases too as the price goes up. I don't know if you guys see that.
Buy 10 contracts.
Huh?
Then buy 10 contracts.
I don't know. I don't know about all that. But yeah, that's basically what I do because I'm trying to scalp it, right? So as soon as it breaks this, right, I'm not suggesting you guys do this tomorrow because like I'm already used to looking at this every day. So like, you know what I mean? It's like this. Once it breaks this level, and don't get me wrong, this can always reverse on you. It's just a matter of how fast you can get out of it. You know what I mean? Because people will just let their freaking losses just keep going down and hope it's gonna go up. You gotta have a system. So this right here, added with the volume, right? Once it broke this level, probably took like a couple seconds. I usually have it like ready. If I'm looking at Netflix, I'll go to Netflix room. It'll take like 4 or 5 seconds to just look at the contract, right? Because I'll buy 10. So as soon as it breaks, it'll probably like be like right here at that point. I'll buy 10, right? And then it'll execute like right here. And then once it gets to the top, once I see that people start trying to sell this wick right here, I'll get out. This is where I get out.
Nice. Yeah.
Either I get out fully or I trim it. Like if I have 10 contracts, I don't really look at like I don't look at how much I'm up currently. You know how people like, when you guys are up, you start taking screenshots of how much you're up. You're like, oh fuck, I'm up $200. You start taking screenshots.
Yeah.
Like for example, like I basically look, I'm looking at the price action, and right after I buy it, I go to the setting where I can start to sell it. I'm literally ready. I literally.
You're prepping the sell.
Once this wick happens, I choose how many contracts I want to exit, right? So I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna cut half of it, or I'm gonna cut 8 of it, I'm gonna cut 7 of it, I'm gonna cut 2 of it, right? Because you see this selling pressure. The point of trimming down, right? The point of trimming down is so that you can catch another move, right? You want to let it kind of run a little bit, but you want to take your profits, right? If you're already up, you don't want this, because this could have went all the way back down, right? So you want to take as much profits as you can, but you don't want to be dumb about it. If you're gonna scalp, you're gonna scalp. Don't turn your scalp into a day trade. Like when someone buys 10 contracts to scalp and then they still have 10 contracts 30 minutes later,
that's not a scalp.
That's not a scalp, right?
Scalp with minutes.
Exactly. If you can buy if you're gonna buy 10 contracts and you're gonna hold it for 30 minutes, then you're day trading. And if you're doing that, you should be able to afford to hold that, right? Because the more contracts you buy, the more you can get, the more you lose, right? So 1 minute. So right here, right? As soon as this hits, I'll trim down. Right? I'll go like, if I buy 10 here, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna cut 4, I'm gonna cut 5, and then see what happens next. And then now the next candle forms, right? Boom, that's a nice candle, right?
Yeah.
So this is a good candle too, because this thing filled all the way up, right? Filled all the way up. And then once you see it fill down again, that's when you can exit your positions, right?
Are you watching level 2 at this time?
Webinar, right?
No, not really.
I'm on a webinar.
But if you are looking at the level 2 at this time, you'll see it's all like, you're gonna see it all being green.
Sure.
Kev, does it show the time in sales if you click time in sales for that? Does it for that time period, or is it just showing that?
No, it doesn't.
Time? It's just now.
Does it?
Damn.
No, it doesn't.
Probably just whenever you logged on. Yo, tell them about like the scalp stop too. About like, so that like that second candle, you would use like.
Hold on, yeah. I lost track. So okay. So right here, right. This is where I exit. Personally, because I see this wick. If I see a wick, I'm exiting. If I see a candle close and then the wick is like this, I'll exit. Like I'll exit or I'll trim. Exit or trim. Then the next candle forms. Once you see this, okay, if you guys are in a trade, if you're in a scalp, if you see this big wick down going like this, right? It goes up and then it gets pushed back down. Would you sell it or would you hold it?
Sell.
Would you sell all of it?
Hell yeah.
So you would sell all of it?
Hell yeah.
That's fair enough. Let me go back.
Yo, Kev, can I explain the Greek part of this?
Yeah, you can.
Go back over to the right a little bit. Keep going. Right to where it consolidates. That middle portion. Yeah, right there. All right. So in that middle portion where you see Netflix consolidating right here, kind of in that like mid halfway point before it starts testing resistance. So if you're scalping and you're buying that front week expiration, which is the one that expires the quickest, your gamma accelerates at its fastest in the last week of expiration. That doesn't matter on any contract you buy. If you buy one in 6 months, when it comes to the last week, it automatically accelerates. So your Vega, when it's in this consolidation period, actually starts to sell off because you have people that are selling the stock and they're also selling the contract. And the selling volume in your contracts will cause you to lose volume, which then causes the price to decrease in value. So that's one thing that you have to pay attention to when you're scalping. And, you know, if you have high theta on the contract, that's going to eat you at double the speed in that week than it did the week prior. So that's why you want to sell into pressure when you're scalping. That's where the term gamma scalping comes from.
Boom. Let me see if I can make this a little more, because this screen's kind of big, so you can't it's kind of hard to. All right, right here. This is perfect, right? This is fucking perfect right here. This is how I look at it, right? This is perfect.
Dude, that breakout is beautiful.
All right, check out this price action, right? This makes more sense than extending it like earlier. You can see it better. So look. Broke this level. Look at the volume bar. Look at the fucking volume bar. Look how high that is. Look how much volume there is at the open. That's why don't call. Please don't tomorrow. Please don't be like, oh my gosh, I got in at the open and I lost money. Like, you know what I mean? Don't do that. This is how I got in. I saw this volume, right? I saw this volume start picking up heavily. Because it didn't just go up here in 4 seconds. No, it went down here. It was down here for maybe like 10 seconds. It went 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then it goes down 5, and then it goes slowly 4, 3, 2, right? So once you see this break, right? If you're already looking at this, right? Like me, I was already ready to get in. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get in at this break. Because understand, I have like 8. I have, how many is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 16 laid out right here, 16 charts. So I have the most volatile ones on the bottom. So I'll look at those. And the reason why I would look at Netflix is because it gapped up, right? Gapped up. And then it created a nice little resistance to where I can give myself some room to enter. So right here, even if it went to the downside, if this was the opposite, I would get in puts right here. This is where I would get in. That's why I have this level for it. So at this break, I got in, rode it. This probably took like 25 seconds to do. 20, 25 seconds maybe. And then as soon as it hits the top, it started dipping down a little bit. And then when I see that, I'm ready to sell or trim, right? If you don't sell there, like let's say you don't sell there, you wait for another candle. All right, good for you. You just got another $2, right? This is 326.50, and the top of this candle is 328. Right, so that's already how long do you wait? There's a delay on option price updates off the open. How long do you wait to jump into your call? Like I said, this took like 20 seconds to form. It's not like as soon as the market opened. Just think about it. From 60 seconds is a pretty long time, right? A minute's pretty long. So I don't get in like as soon as 6:30 hits. It's not like I'm freaking hit buy, you know what I mean? Because as soon as 6:30 hits, if I hit buy, I'm gonna start losing money right here at this dip, right? This little. That's how this candle formed. went down a little bit, went up.
Another thing you got.
What?
I would say another thing they should look out for, like the test of that resistance in the pre-market there, and after it gapped up, you want to be cautious of that sell-off again, because they're going to be people taking profits.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to get into. So, like I was telling the other guy earlier, there is this pre-market high that it tested, right? So it's like 620, 10 minutes before it opened. You can see it tested here, bounce back down. You can see 2 minutes before it opened, it tried to break it, right? Tried to break it again. So the next time, especially when the market opens, think about how many people are buying into this, right? A lot of, there's people buying into this too. Not just me, right? I'm trying to catch the momentum. So basically breaks, right? Breaks with enough volume for me to have a high probability scalp, right? Whatever you want to call it. Ride it from here to the top, and I'm out. And if I trim it and I ride this one with like 3 contracts, right? And then I see this long wick start to form, that's when I'm out. I'll cut it. I'm making like a good amount of money already at that point. You know what I mean? And then you hold on, you see the price action here. All right, so you don't need, you can use 25K. I guess it makes sense to have more than 25 in your account, but the PDT only applies to margin accounts. If you have a cash, you guys know what a cash account is, right? Do some of you guys not know what a cash account is?
Yeah, I know.
I have a Tastyworks cash account.
There's a cash account. I had a TD Ameritrade rep tell me I couldn't day trade with the cash account. God, I would have slapped that guy across the phone if he told me that. You gotta call him back, bro. You don't even need to call him. You can just do it on your online. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they have the best customer service. I love them.
A lot of
do it on the app.
Those motherfuckers will help you construct a trade. If you need help, you can message them about anything. Help you build a spread, whatever it is.
Are you sure he told you that you couldn't day trade with the cash account? Why would a broker tell you that? I don't understand.
I got a cash account.
Back to this, right? Back to this. What do you guys see here? No, forget this little trend line number, right? Let's say you see this. What is this right here?
That's a bull flag.
Exactly. That's a bull flag. Right? That's a bull flag. Look at that. If you want to get into another scalp like this, you can literally use this right here, this bull flag, as a preparation, right? You're going to prepare yourself to enter if it breaks above, right? You see this price action here? It opened the candle after this opened up here, went all the way down, right? All the way down here. At one point, this was red. It was red. And then you're going to see this in action, right? You're going to see this price action before your eyes, right? You're going to see it go from here and move all the way up, right? Boom, boom, boom. And then it starts breaking out of the flag. Right here, right? You can enter right here. But for me, personally, look at the volume bar on this one. Right? There's not enough volume here compared to this. So I wouldn't even get in here because the volume isn't that much, first of all. I'll get in at this one because the volume increased. Right? Volume increased here. This is when I'll get in. If you see the volume increase here and you're looking at the resistance here, you gotta think sometimes this is hard to explain, but if you start getting used to seeing price action, don't get too technical about it. You gotta understand the psychological aspect of it. You gotta understand how many people are hopping in this now. This is a moment. This is a momentum. This was the momentum candle. This is a momentum candle. You know why? Because this is the candle it took for it to break the price, for it to break the next resistance, right? So you gotta kind of try to get a feel for the price. Like, don't get too technical. The more technical you get about it, the more it's gonna take you to start executing your trades. You're gonna start double thinking about it. You start looking at the RSI, you start looking at all this shit. Especially if you're looking at 1 minute, it's just gonna mess you up because it's gonna take you longer to decide whether you want to get in or not. You gotta just execute it. If it doesn't go your way, then okay, you cut it. That's it. As long as you know why you got in, as long as it's a good enough reason for you to get in, and as long as it's a high probability trade or scalp or whatever, then okay, just get in. Like, you don't need to hesitate, but don't gamble. Don't get in. Don't get in. If you have $1,000, don't get in 10 contracts for $950, and you know what I mean. That's the dumbest thing you can do.
And be ready on a scalp to like exit quick, because the shit can flip on you in a switch when
exactly
you enter a scalp.
It's happened to me.
Selling into it, it will come back down to a spot it feels comfortable at
right there.
Or if it continues up or continues to go back down.
You see this red candle right here?
Wow.
You see that red candle?
Exactly.
That's to shake people out. That's like to shake people out, and that's people taking profit. So I'm pretty sure people didn't take profits right away, right? But as soon as they start dipping down, that's when people started taking.
Tyler, what can I get there? It's gonna be a venti caramel macchiato hot with the extra.
Look at this one. Look at what it did right here, right? So it formed another flag, and it formed a triangle. Yeah. It formed a triangle. So you might assume that it's gonna break out.
Anything else I get for you?
I'm muted.
Caramel macchiato.
All right, look. So if you're looking at the 1 minute price action and you want to scalp this again, let's say you want to scalp that. Honestly, this is when, like, for example, if you're going to be focusing on Netflix all day, then okay, you're going to be looking at this. But if you already got in here, like if I already got in here, I'm not, like, I'm going to look away. I'm probably going to be looking at other names. But if you happen to just be staring at Netflix the whole time, right, you see this triangle form, right? You see this volume bar right here, this red one? There's a lot of selling volume here, which makes it look like it's setting up for a little downturn, right? So now it's creating that flag, right? It's creating that flag. The next candle it does is it starts dipping below that resistance, right? Starts dipping below the resistance, starts dipping, and then back up. That's another flag. Up.
If you're day trading that too, you could have when it made that first high and then it came down and then it finally made the low. You see the doji or is that what a hammer?
If you're day trading this, is so much easier. It's so much easier because all you gotta do is just let it run. Let it fucking run. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, and if you're adding to your position, that's what you add on the pullback.
You can't do that with the scalp because the point of a scalp is going in heavy and then cutting, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of scalping if you're gonna get in? I mean, if you're gonna get in heavy and be able to afford it, then that's not a scalp. That's a day trade. That means you can afford to risk 10 contracts and hold it for an hour, right?
That's why if you guys see, like, I love when Kev posts his profits and stuff, and he says, and he's scalping them out. You see all those trades, and you see the red ones, dude. Those losses are very small, and there was probably a big position. You want to keep that.
Oh yeah, exactly. Okay, when I, like I said, like, you know how I said earlier right here, you know how I said this is when I cut for profits, right? So if I get in this flag, if I get in this right here, if this was green, because this was green at one point, right? So if I get in this right here and then it doesn't break out my way, as soon as it tries to dip below this, as soon as it tries to dip below this line, I'm out of there. Like there's no point in holding it anymore, right? Because you don't know what's gonna happen next. If you're in a scalp, if I'm in a scalp, I'm literally like 10K deep in there. So like, what's the point of me waiting for it to hopefully go back up? If I'm down, like if I get into a scalp and then it goes the wrong way and I'm immediately down like $100, $50, $60, like I'm out of there. Especially if it doesn't look like it's gonna go my way at all. You can kind of feel it too because you can look at the volume bar. You can get a feel of who's gonna sell, when they're gonna sell, just by the wicks. Literally, just by the wicks, you can tell. Like this is another flag. This is like another good little entry because you see how for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For like 6 minutes, this consolidation period right here. The volume was kind of low. There wasn't really a lot. And then this candle right here, the volume started increasing, right? So when you see that, that's for me personally, that's definitely.
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
Who the fuck?
Dude, muted him too.
Hey, Kev, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah.
Hey, you know on that second flag that you drew out?
This one, right?
Yeah, the one before that.
This is a triangle.
Yeah, that one right there. You know how you said if it closes below that line, then you'll hop out? Do you wait for the candle to close or right?
Nah, dude, I don't. No. Don't do that, bro. Do not wait for it to fully close. Because think about it. If you wait for it to fully close, if you had waited for this to fully close, that's 50 cents, bro.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you're in $10,000, 50 cents is like $200.
Yeah, yeah.
So then the worst part about that is, bro, when you wait for it to close, the next candle can like, especially when prices tank. I don't know if you guys ever see this on a 1 minute chart, but it'll literally go from here to here in like half a second.
Yeah.
So when you're over here panicking trying to sell your shit, right? You're not gonna get filled, bro. You're not gonna get filled. So by the time it gets filled, you're like, oh, all right, cool. I only took a $50 loss. Guess how much you're gonna be down? Fucking $400, $500. You're like, damn, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How does that differ from when, like, just say like a break above a level? If it breaks above the level right when it breaks, we're usually hopping in without the candle closing. So how would that differ from breaking
because
above?
you're selling. I mean, because you're selling. You don't want to lose money, do you? Like,
yeah.
It's different.
Yeah,
it's different because because you're looking at it. Okay, I want to make money, and then no, I don't want to lose money. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the only difference. Because you don't want to lose
toilet, bro.
Because you always want you want your losses to be cut as quickly as possible.
Right.
So that's the only different part about what you said. Is the fact that you don't want to lose money. That's it. You never want to lose money.
Got it.
Right? You're gonna lose money. You just don't want to lose too much money.
Right.
All about minimizing.
Like you know, if you're talking about this one, right? Let's say you look at this candle, Astro.
Yeah.
If you're looking at this candle, so you get in as soon as it attempts to break, right? So you'll be 328.50ish.
Yo, Kev, can you mute the guy that's got the toilet in the background?
I just did.
Thank God. Yo, macchiatos, toilets.
All right, look, Astro.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Oh, you're the one talking, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you know how you're talking about you're gonna get in as soon as it breaks, right? So you're talking about here, right? Boom.
Right.
As soon as it breaks, you get in. You know why you get in too, right? Because you see this volume bar right here starts increasing compared to the past 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's a volume spike.
So you can see, so that's a momentum candle, bro. Like, so you're getting in that, so that's good. If it goes your way, you're good. Like, it's obviously it's going your way if you see this. So basically, if you compare this to this, right? Sometimes when this happens, this thing will happen immediately, right? It'll start. You know how you look at the 1 minute chart and it starts shooting up right away.
Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned, like, when you want to sell it, you gotta be fast. Like, as soon as this breaks, bro, you gotta sell it. Like, you sell it as fast as you can. You know what I mean? It's I'm not even trying to be like whatever, but it gets real like that. Like literally gets real. Especially when you have so much, when you have a lot of money on the line, it's just like fuck, I got you know what I mean?
You gotta be comfortable taking the losses. Like you just gotta
that
realize,
too.
like,
That too. You can't just
you're bound to lose. It's a game of like, yeah, you're gonna take 10 trades, right? And you want to have small losses on all those trades. Even if you have small gains on all those, you want those small gains to even outweigh those small losses you took. Because if they were big losses, then what's the point of just taking the quick money real quick if you're scalping? You know what I mean? You're just taking big losses. You gotta have that balance.
Let me show you guys something real quick. So let's see Netflix, right? Option calculator. Let's see Netflix current price. What's this current price at?
Bro, TOS has what you're about to do.
Yeah, but I can't choose a 328. I can't choose like if this was right here. I don't want to look at TOS. I like this one better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking about the risk thing.
Actually,
Trade
I'll
King's
just get the price. Bye. All right. When you scalp, right? 10 contracts of Netflix at the money, nearest expiration, right? How much is this? 335.
I don't know.
25,
I can barely read it.
Hey, this doesn't include James. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This doesn't include the gamma, right? Oh no,
it should include everything.
There you go. Because you can choose. Because I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, you're definitely not making $15 off a $1 move.
Fuck no.
Profit loss right here. This is perfect. So think about it like this. Think about this as let's say you buy here. Think about this at 332 instead of 328. So current price 332, right? From 332.50 to let's say no. Let's go over here instead. From 324.80, right? So let's say it's like 325. From 325 to 326.70ish, or even 328. So that's a what? 332. That's like a $3. That's like a $2 move, right? From 324 to 327, 325 to 327, 328. That's a $3 move. All right, $2, $3, whatever. So from 333 to 335, right? So $2 later, you'll be up $1,500, right? Off of 10 contracts. Even if you only ride it for $1.50 to $2, you're already up 1,000. Or if you ride it for $1, you're up $400. I'm good for the day, $400, whatever. So let's say you decide to buy 20, but you don't want to buy 20 right away. First of all, don't do that. Yeah, if let's say you're 20 contracts deep at this point, like right here, and then you ride it for $2, you're up $3,000, but you spend $5,000. You're risking that. This is 3,160 for a $2 move. From 332 to 334 to 335, it's around 2,000 to 3,000. So per dollar, you're making about 1,000. And you gotta understand, at the open, this thing will explode. Like these names usually explode at open. Let me ask something real quick.
I hope they know why that, why you choose the at the money. Like there's the big Greek factor that plays into choosing like that at the money.
Yeah. You want to explain that?
Yeah. So like all right. So that last week of expiration that I was talking about. So you'll notice if you just go throughout the option chains, even if it's like from, the front runner week to like probably 6 weeks out, you'll notice in the last week when you look at the money strikes, usually it should be around a delta 50, but sometimes you'll start to see a bigger gap because, now there's less time for these contracts to expire in the money. So, people are buying them. They're the most active. You'll see maybe they'll dip down to like a delta of like, 30 to 40. And then all of a sudden you'll see the one that's in the money and then it'll be a delta of 70. So that big gap between those two deltas, that's where you're going to find the most profit potential from when it becomes at the money to in the money. That's always going to be your biggest gain. That's why they try to tell you, when you're buying these options, at the money. We get it, they're expensive, but scalping works the best in this last week. That exact, strike, because you want to catch the biggest gain in delta that's going to maximize your profits. And then if you sell it into pressure, then you get the boost from your, your gamma and your vega, and the IV raising. That's what juices your contract up.
Sorry, the first one in the money or out of the money?
So
at the money.
Yeah, it's at the money, but it's technically out of the money. The first strike that's like blue, like right above where Kev's go. Yeah, that one, that's in the money right there. And then right below it, that's going to be at the money.
I usually choose this one and just buy 10 right away. Or maybe this one. It depends on the price because
those are things that I look for because like that's what the option's telling you. That's it's giving you direction in your trade. So like when you start to trade spreads and you're whether you're selling contracts, like the whole everything starts to compile. If you're heavy delta, if you're heavy gamma, if you're in like iron condors, you may not want to be fucking short gamma. You'd rather be long gamma, meaning you want more gamma.
So get the one right under the blue one.
Yeah, that's gonna give you, if you're scalping and day trading, that's gonna be your best bet. But if you're day trading, just be aware when you get those consolidation periods, you're gonna see, your option contract's gonna decrease. Even if it stays sideways or if it's slightly going up, it will decrease just because the volume's not there.
Yeah, I got messed up for that.
Because if you look at the detail of your option, like if you go into your orders, whatever you have open, and then go into the details, you'll see it has like its own candles and everything. You'll see, dude, right as the minute when the volume dies off, dude, the Vega starts to drop, and then the option loses value a little bit. Or it could be a lot. If you're playing shop, dude, if shop trades sideways, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're definitely
you're
fucked.
Holding your fucks.
You're definitely fucked, especially if you trade. Imagine trading Amazon, bro. I've traded Amazon so many times to the point where it's just, I don't like trading anymore. Look at this, bro.
Amazon, I've determined you have to enter with protection. Like if you're entering 3 calls, bro, you gotta enter a put with it because
look at how ugly this is, bro. Look at how ugly this is. This is ugly. This is really ugly. Especially if you're day trading these. If you're day trading this, you're fucked. You day trade this. You get in here. And you expect it to go. You get in here. You expect it to go here. You're gonna be down a lot of fucking money.
Like look how many weak candles there are. Like there's so many weak candles. Like, you don't want to. You know what I mean? You don't want to see that.
Look at the volume too. There's literally no volume on this, right? You also want to look at that. Don't just look at like how it's breaking the resistance. Okay, cool. It can break the resistance. Remember, market makers are out to get you guys. Like literally. The setup can look so fucking good, but if you can't add other factors that can support your decision, then you know what I mean, don't get in there. Just because it's breaking doesn't mean it's gonna keep breaking. Because look, it attempted to keep going, right? You're probably like, oh man, it's gonna keep going. Some people look. Some people probably add to their position like right here. They'll add it because at one point this was filled up, right? So they're like, oh, all right, I'm gonna add it because then I'll sell it right here. Guess what, buddy? Never went over there. It went down here instead. So now you're shit out of luck. You're just hoping for this to go up. And then like what James said, the more sideways it goes, your theta's gonna fuck you over throughout the day. Sometimes these thetas are like $300, $400.
Oh.
One second. Okay, Netflix. This was a good day too.
Hey James.
Yo.
I was gonna ask, when I joined earlier, you were kind of going in about the gamma acceleration stuff. I didn't catch the full detail what you're saying.
Yeah. So I was talking about that first week expiration. You know, that's always the most liquid one. Gamma accelerates the fastest in that week. Like that accelerates the movement of your delta, accelerates the movement of your theta. The whole option moves fast. So there's a lot of upside and there's a lot of potential downside while doing that. So like you just got to be wary with your scalping. Like generally gamma scalpers they use that last week, and you know that's what I was saying. Like when it starts to consolidate, you want to be able to sell into pressure to get the most value out of your option while scalping or even in day trading. You just want to sell into pressure in general.
All right, let's say you're day trading. All right, let's say you want to day trade. You're not scalping, so you're waiting for the market to give you a good setup. So you know you're not trading the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever the case may be. Type down here, right? Type down here. What do you guys usually look for when you're day trading something? I want to see what you guys. I want to see what you guys say about this first. What do you guys look for when you're trying to day trade? Let's say you want to day trade Shopify. Are you looking for a pattern like this to form? Are you looking for volume? Are you looking for
5 green candles on the 4 hour?
Are you looking for a moving average to form like this, like the 9, right? Or let me add more. The 9. Well, you guys type it up there.
Yo, add the 5 EMA on there. That's like awesome for fucking the beginners, dude, because the candles just ride the 5 EMA. The quick little fucking day trading strat. If you have the 5, the 9, and the 21.
I'm so used to not having this shit.
I know, dude. It's painful to look at after you don't use them. So if you see the 5's that top line, I think it's his yellow one. Yeah, that's always going to ride your candle. And then usually when your stocks pull back, they should be pulling back to the 9 EM. Is the 9 your blue line right there, Kev?
The 9 is a blue, yes.
Yeah.
The
so
5 is a yellow. The green is a 50.
All right.
Breakthroughs of MA's volume. 920.
I always use the 21 like as like my stop loss, but you'll see like on the 9 almost acts as like where your pullbacks are. It's usually always going to dip that, and when it dips like usually lower than that, and it closes below the 9, then that's when you'd want to get out if you were in calls there. Or if you were entering puts, you want to enter right as where those EMAs cross. You'll see where that big candle comes down and lands on the support up top, and then dips below. And then
this is the fucking day. This is the day where I made 2 racks at the open. All right, I'm gonna show you guys something real quick.
I do leave the 200 on. I have the 200 on always, but I don't have any of the other ones on.
All right, so some of you guys look for crosses. Oh, the stochastics. Okay, let me put that on too. Let me show you guys.
You still use those?
Yeah, I do.
I still have them on, dude.
Only because look, you know how I can have 16 different frames right there.
Oh, that's right.
So I'll have one chart that has all these studies except for like the 5 or like the 9. Right. I'll keep the 50 on there, and I'll always have the stochastics on there. I'll have the RSI there sometimes, but like I said, I'll do like because it looks like this. My shit looks like this, right? Like this. You see it?
Oh my god, yeah.
You see how this one has a squeeze, this one has a stochastics, this one has stochastics, this one has the EMAs. So if I'm looking at Netflix on this, right? Looking at Netflix on this, looking at Netflix on this, right? I can figure out here. Okay, look, it's squeezing here, right? It's squeezing, whatever. Look at here, stochastics, whatever. So that's what I do. Like I'll have it on there, right? But for the main part. For the most part, I don't really have. When I'm looking at it, I don't have it on. Let me take these off again. Let me show you guys some pretty nice price action that I see. All right, first 5 minutes. Notice this, right? You guys know about the stochastic cross, right? Okay,
Stochastic crosses this. When the red crosses over the purple, right? Means that the momentum is increasing to the buying side. So more than likely, if it starts crossing up, it's bullish for that frame for like the 5 minutes. And then when it crosses down, you see how it crosses down here and the price starts dipping? That's when it's bearish, right? You see how it follows this. Literally follows this. Like right here, this is a good one too. Once it crossed down, right, started dipping down. Boom, 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 boom. So you can don't just use this based on your entries, because I'm not gonna lie, 30% of the time, maybe even 40% of the time, it doesn't work out like that. Because it also it depends on whether people actually want to buy or
yeah, not. And remember, stochastics is the study of momentum of price. Exactly. So that's the confusion. That's why you see a lot of those crosses, the waves, the ups, the downs. It's based off of what you see above on the candles. Momentum of price from price action. That's what makes the two handles so perfectly well together. Like when you see those drastic drops, you'll see the big fat red candles. That is a heavy momentum of selling pressure. Or if it's the other way.
Look at this wick, for example. Look at this fucking wick right here. Look at this long ass fucking wick. Right? These two. Right? So understand this. Look at the price. Don't just look at the candle, but look at the price. From open at 390, literally for 10 minutes, it went up to 397. That's $7 fucking dollars, right? That's $7. You gotta understand, when something's up that much, regardless if it's Amazon or Shopify, it's gonna sell off some way, one way or the other. It's gonna try to sell off. People want to take profits. You know what I mean? It's not gonna keep. I mean, some names do just keep on going forever, and they're like Shopify usually does that sometimes. But you understand, be prepared for a sell-off, right? Like people have this misconception, right? Like for example, if a stock's already up like $5, right? This keeps going up, and you're like, oh gosh, it's up $5. I don't want to miss out, right? So what do?
Buy Amazon.
You buy it, right? You fucking buy it. Why? Why do you buy it? Oh, I don't want to miss out. Well, understand it's already up $5. Why don't you wait for the pullback? Oh, I don't know. I don't want it to not pull back, because then sometimes it doesn't pull back. Well, you gotta understand. Sometimes it doesn't pull back, and sometimes it does pull back. Most of the times it's gonna pull back. Most of the time it's gonna pull back when you decide to get in late, right? You gotta try to get in before everybody else gets in. That's the whole point. You're not trading you're not trading Shopify. You're trading against other people.
Yeah, you want to use computers. So you have to use your tools in front of you. If you're a price action trader, you just like price action, that's great. You use your trends, your channels, your patterns. But if you like using the other studies and indicators with it, you have to use multiple styles of conviction, whether if it's a MACD crossover or if it's like the DMI oscillator when you get the 3 green ticks. You have to use multiple. If you have on 5 studies, it looks like it's going up, and then you got an uptrending channel and a resistance break, chances are it's probably going to go up. That's why you got to double check yourself, and then you'll get in the habit of doing it faster and faster every time. That's why you want to get happy. Even if you don't have any money in your account to a trade, hop in the paper trade. You can trade all the same things that we're doing.
What does a doji mean? Let me show you a doji. This is basically a gravestone kind of, but it's a little thing.
Look up a little. Go to your upper. Oh, never mind. Pass it.
No, let me show you.
I always look for the.
Right here, that's a doji right there. That's a doji.
Oh yeah, fuck that doji.
When this thing opens and closes, literally at the same price, that's a doji. That's why it's white. Doji is basically an indecision candle. Sellers and buyers can't decide who wants to overwhelm the other, basically. What? But then you look at this long ass wick.
I love you. I'm just trying to listen.
Look at this long wick. Is there more buyers or sellers here?
Buyers.
Exactly. Look at this long wick.
Is there more buyers or sellers here?
Sellers.
Sellers, right? So as soon as you see this candle form on the 5-minute, you're like, oh, fuck, there's a lot of sellers here. I should get out. Or I should, prepare to go short, right? So and then you wait for the next candle to form, right? And then it forms this, and then it forms this. So what does that tell you? Okay, at this point, there's more buyers, right? There's more buyers than there's sellers. Because this first candle creates a long wick, and then price moves up. Sellers try to push it down, but buyers get to push the price back up over the resistance line, right? So this is the crucial line right here. This is where you want to prepare. If you're a day trader, right? If you're trying to day trade, you literally can buy one contract here. It's not going to hurt you for this little pullback right here, right? Because you're day trading. It's not going to hurt you. You're waiting for like a $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 move, whatever the case may be. So, and then you see this really big candle here, right? So from 395 to 398, you can literally sell your day trade like that. Bam, like that's it. Oh, let me put this right here. Especially if you see this, look. This is a good example right here. So this is a 5-minute candle. You see how sellers try to push the price down here, right? Push the price down. And then the next candle forms, right? The next candle starts over here. It moves up, right? It moves up for I don't know how many seconds it took for this or how many minutes it took. Because you're looking at this isn't a 1 minute. This is a 5-minute. So there's more, it takes a little bit more time for it to form, right? So you're looking at it. It's going up. It gets rejected, right? It gets rejected. It goes below that resistance that it just kind of broken a little bit, right? So that's when you want to exit, right? That's when you want to exit, unless you want to hold through this right here. Like, unless you want to, if you got in right here and you're up here and you want to hold through this, you're going to see your profit start to decrease, right? Right here, you're going to be like, you're going to be at like no profits, right? Because you got in right here. You rode $2.
You're probably losing profits there.
Exactly.
People take profits quick on shop because
and then this is what happens, right? This is what happens. So when people see they start losing their profits, they'll cut right here, right? They'll cut, boom, I'm gonna cut. And then next thing you know, guess what happens? 20, 15, 30 minutes later, they're like, oh gosh, I should have held Shopify because it went all the way to here, right?
To the moon.
That's what happens every single fucking day. I see this shit, bro. Oh gosh, I'm like that too with my scalps. Like if I got in here and I exited here, and then it's like 9 o'clock, and I look at Shopify. Oh my gosh, it's up to 4.
Bro, that's me every time I look at Amazon.
I could have made fucking 30 G's today. Well, no, don't think of it like that, right? Because followed your plan. You got in when you're supposed to get out. That's it. Period. You fucking look for another trade. That's it. But when you're day trading, right? People want to make money so fucking fast, bro. It's ridiculous. So literally, if you're day trading, you have a cat. Like everyone in our group, for the most part, has a cash account, right? So buy here, you sell here, you're good. You just made like $200. Cut it. Like, especially when you see this right here, you see that it's breaking down that resistance, right? I mean, if you want to lose your profits and you want to hold it, okay, cool, that's on you. But most people are still very emotional when it comes to trading. So what they'll do is they see themselves losing profits, so they'll cut it as soon as possible, right? As soon as possible. And then they see the price go back up, and then they start, thinking like, oh my gosh, I should have held, blah, 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 blah. But you should do this instead. You buy here, you cut it here, right? It's because you only cut it because you see it breaking down the resistance. So from here, from 395 to where you cut it, 397.60-ish, you're already up at least like what, 50, 60, 100, 120, depends on how many contracts you got. You're already up. You cut that, right? And then you just wait for the next opportunity. So now when that happens, right, you see this? You see how there's this resistance line right here that it created? You guys see it?
Yeah.
You guys see this area, right? Rejects, breaks. This right here, this break is when you want to re-enter, right? Look at the volume bar on that. Look how many buyers stepped in as soon as the bulls pushed this price up against that resistance that it was resisting for, 5, 10, 15, 20, however many minutes. Look at the volume. Once you see this volume, that's when you're like, all right, cool. I'm going to day trade this. I'm going to make my profit target maybe around here, right? Because that's the next resistance. Always make the next resistance your profit target, right? For day trading. So you're going to make your next resistance here. But let's say the trade is going your way, it's going your way, whatever. You see this price break, right? You see this price break, but then you see this red candle, right? So you immediately think like, okay, no, I should cut it. Like this one right here, when it broke, right? This wick that formed. So there's this candle right here. This 5-minute candle can be used as a support for the next one, right? So you can use this if you're day trading. You can, because you got in here, right? So you're already up a good amount. Once it goes past this line where it was support, the 5-minute candle prior, if the price was to get down here, this area, oh my bad, this area, that's when you want to sell and take your profit, right? Because at that point, this thing can go down, right? But you can see it tested the support, right?
You're on margin, they do.
Then it tested the support again. But then when it tested this support,
yeah, it takes if you're on
a lot of buying pressure, and then you want to look, and then you see this volume bar right there, increased again. So that's when you say, okay, my trade is going good, so I'm gonna keep holding it. Now, by the time you get here, right, 404, and it starts forming this long thing, you're already up like what, from 398.70 to fucking 403.60, 404-ish. You're already in a good day trade. That's when you should start looking to exit, because whose mic is that? All right, because at this point, the price of Shopify has gone from 390, right? From 390 to over 401, right? What is the yearly high for Shopify?
Nothing. Maybe like a chuckle.
409.
Not left. Severed head gag.
All right, yeah. So it's when you're looking at this price, you're like, oh fuck. So Shopify is about to reach its all-time highs. You know what I mean? You know, it's gonna break. It's gonna hit it today. It's gonna hit it today. You understand that this thing was already up from 390 all the way to 403.4. So especially like at the opened at 390, and now you're still in this trade from 398, 399 all the way up to 40 something. Once you see this candle, just get the fuck out of it, right? Especially when you look at the stochastics, you can see that it starts to curve down a little bit, right? You guys see this?
Yeah.
So when I day trade, when I day trade something, I go like 1-2 contracts, and then I'll just ride it out. I'll look for the patterns that form, and then I'll decide whether I want to size up on a day trade or not, based on the patterns that have formed, or based on the indicators that I currently have on, or also this is a very important thing to do too. Like when I have this, when I'm day trading this, right, I have the futures up all the time. I have this up all the time. The futures, the VIX. I have this like on, so I'm looking at it, right? Let's say I'm looking at Shopify right here. This was today. Let's see what's this, brother.
Kev, dude, I take it you don't have ADD because there's no way you would watch all these charts with ADD.
No, I look at everything, bro. How do you think I get into like 4 different things?
I don't know, dude. I give you all the kudos, bro. You know that.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes.
It's Nick. What are the futures and the VIX?
You don't know what the futures are, bro?
No.
Futures are. It's the S&P 500, right? It takes account of top 500, top 100 of the names. It moves up. If it moves up, it's because everything else is going up. Or for the most part, like Microsoft, I think Microsoft is the runner. Let me see.
Does the runner mean like it was the highest volatile stock in the?
No, it's just worth the most.
Okay.
Yeah, they have it's like they have the biggest amount of like impact on the S&P.
Yeah,
so let's say they're like the S&P is the most amount of their shares. Would be Microsoft is their biggest impact. So like then they composite all those 500 names and then like do an average. So like obviously this is going to be more Apple than like AT&T or something.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. AT&T. Right
yeah, I've been trading lately with having ES pulled up, and it's so boring because you can see literally when the market's pumping or dumping. So if it's dumping.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not gonna go long.
If you have a company that is in the S&P 500, you should have ES pulled up at all times because you
should always have it up. If you're gonna be trading anything, bro.
You got to remember a lot of people trade, bro.
You're gonna be trading Shopify, Netflix, Microsoft, Apple. You're gonna have to look at the futures.
Yeah, but I'm saying
if you don't look at this,
on your phone,
if you don't look at this, you're blind trading, bro. In my opinion,
you're
definitely blind. Look at this, right?
Same with the VIX. VIX is huge.
Yeah.
VIX is just inverse, though, right?
No,
volatility.
Yeah, literally it measures
measures the volatility of the current time of when you're looking at it, whatever time frame you're looking at.
Which has like a huge impact on your options too. So if you see like VIX start to rise, dude, your options are probably going to get pretty expensive as that rises.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. No, I think about that. But yeah, I've been having ES.
Yeah, that's why like people trade VIX options like there's nobody's business, but like I think it's like, I don't know if it's 60 days or 90 days. Basically the market not resets, but like collectively adds more data into like the volatility that helps place it. Then it affects the prices of their options. So you'll notice if you look at the money, like for their contracts, it's not always around a 50 delta, dude. Like at the money could be 70%, a 70 delta, or it could be 30. It could be like way off because volatility is a whole different animal. It's not like trading a stock. You're literally trading volatility. Remember,
you can look it up as a ticker right here. You just type VIX in there, and it'll show up. Like how you type in Apple, you type in VIX.
Yeah, and like VIX has certain levels that like. You know what I mean? You're not like you wouldn't try to invest in VIX long term because it's just you can't.
It just measures the volatility. That's the I only look at it to measure the volatility.
Like a lot of people buy calls at 12 and around like that 20 area they'll buy puts like just as like a general synopsis because if volatility is at 12 you think of volatility is relatively low. And, if there's like the trade war uncertainty, the president's getting impeached, people think the vol is going to rise. They'll start going long on VIX options or VIX calls. Almost as a way to like hedge like their investment in like the S&P 500 or other ETFs.
Okay, this is a good example of the shit that I look at, right? So I see right here Shopify is trying to break the resistance, keeps getting rejected. If you look at the futures, the resistance isn't until over here, right? So around this time is when it was down here a little bit, right? So you can see that it's not even close to the resistance. So you can't say the market is bullish. So I can't immediately just get in Shopify just because it's showing these wicks, right? I gotta look at the futures to see if it can kind of help me decide whether I want to get in Shopify to day trade or not. Because look at this. This thing was sideways. While it was sideways, Shopify dropped, right? Let's see what Netflix did.
That's the uncertainty in the market. Like you'll see, since ES is the major market and that's uncertainty, people will sell just off of uncertainty. That's why you see that rapid spike around like the trade war news. It's uncertainty. People don't like it. You know what I mean? People don't like to, the unknown. People don't want to, you know what I mean? People get sketched out, especially when there's money on the line. Ain't nobody want to lose money. That's why you'll see those panic sell-offs.
And honestly, money flows from one stock to another. You guys didn't know that. Like if Shopify, you know how Amazon is usually moving like $20 or whatever to the upside, to the downside. So you guys remember when Shopify was literally freaking going crazy? When was this? Shopify was going. Look at this, right? Let me look at the 4-hour chart. This is a crazy move. From November 8th to December 19th. Let me just look something up. Let me see how much you made. Fuck, how do I calculate that? James, you know how to calculate that or no?
Calculate what, my bad?
How much you would have made if you bought here and sold here?
Yeah, go to the risk profile. You should be able to tell you at least where if the stock went. They go to I think it's under analysis. Go to analysis. It should be under risk profile. To your left, yeah. Risk profile, top left.
I don't even look at this.
Yeah, bro. Oh, this shit's fucking legit, dude. So then go down to Netflix on the bottom there. Yep. Down. Right there, bottom left. You want to open that. Loading. And then you can add, but you can like customize strikes and then put them on the chart.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you wanted to put like the 330 call, it'll show you the risk profile wherever Netflix is trading.
And it'll tell you in percentage. It'll tell you in percentage how much it went up.
Tell you the exact number where it would go, dude. You can do dude, it's crazy. Let me see where I can I'm trying to look at your screen and fucking do it.
280. You just drag it on there?
You should go on right away.
Oh, 280, and then
I'm trying to see what your thing says because you can change. All right, go to the
right here from 280.
Hold on, because I had to switch my fucking frame. Like, go up. You see where it says, go up top left. I can't see if it's that metric or that part. It might be that right there. You can click it. Go by a single. All right. Hold on, let me pull up my fucking thing real quick.
No, anyways, I think it was like how many percent? I think I remember this. It was like 400%, something like that, 900%. This whole fucking move right here, that was just ridiculous. And we were looking at this shit too. We were looking at this during this breakout, during this triangle. We were looking at it. What are you looking for?
Me?
I also suggest that if you guys are gonna be looking at charts, don't look it on your phone. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, what? You trade from your phone?
I trade from my phone, but I'm looking at the screen.
Gotcha.
Like I'm looking at my computer screen. But some people will trade on their phone and look at charts on their phone.
Yeah, if you're gonna trade on your phone, you gotta have a lot of alerts set. Like, and I work. You know, what I mean, I work every day, dude, and that's the way I gotta trade. It's just how it is. You gotta be the most in tune in the market, and your alerts are gonna fucking tell you that. If you can't watch it, you gotta set alerts. No other way you're gonna know. Then you're just trading fucking blind. If you're in a Roku trade and you don't have alerts set, player, come on. We all know how Roku gonna do you.
Let me show you guys how Roku does you. You know how many people Roku's fucked over? Look at this. If you're day trading this, you're fucked. Look at this price action.
Oh yeah, straight sideways.
Oh my gosh! Every message I sent on this group chat thing was directed towards one person and not everyone. Because it makes you reply to the whenever you send a message like me, because I'm hosting it. It makes me reply to the last person that asked a question. If that makes sense. All right, so if you guys are day trading this, right? For example, we'd write break above 135.95 for calls, right? So you buy it as soon as it breaks. You buy this, and then it hits here 137.60. Some people don't like to take profits right away. That's the thing. Some people aren't happy with what they're making, if that makes sense. Like some people will be up from entering here to exiting here, they'll be up fucking $150, right? But then sometimes they'll see another person that posts profits like, oh, $1,000. So usually what people will do is they'll be like, oh fuck, I want to make $1,000 too. So what they sometimes do is they start buying more, or they hold it. They're not happy with their $150 profit, which was a 50%, 60%, 70% gain, right? They don't look at that percentage part of it. Even if they're up 150%, bro. I've seen this. Even if they're up 150 fucking %, and they're up $200, they're like, oh, they see another person, they make 1,000. Oh, wow, I want to make 1,000. What do you mean? You're up 150%. You know how good that is? You know what I mean? People don't look at that percentage aspect, especially when their account is smaller. If you have a $50, listen to this. If you have a $50 account and you make, for example, you make $50 off a $50 account. So what? Now you're up 100% on your account, right? You know how good that is? Like me,
oh yeah,
every single day,
great.
I'm only making like 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10%, not even 10%. I'm sorry. I'm maybe making like 4 or 5% of my whole account, right? When someone is making 100% of their whole account, they're doing better than I am in terms of return, right? I would love 100% return in a fucking day. Like to me, that's insane. Like the shit. Like remember the guy in our group today that turned $30 into $400 in a couple of days. You know how hard that is? Like that's hard as fuck, right?
Bro, there's only like few stocks you can do. Like you gotta be catching those big moves on Shop, Tesla.
Exactly,
like, that's how that shit happens. And that's all I ever waited for when I first started trading, dude. I just waited for big breakouts, dude, and then I would go balls deep on them. And I used to just keep $100 in my account, bro, and then it would bump up to 1,000. I would take it out, dude. And that's all I fucking did, dude. I just bought big fucking breakouts. All I did was waited for everything, and then I started to get more antsy as a trader until I ended up getting into being a scalp tard.
Have you guys talked about scalping at open?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I feel like that's all we've talked about.
we talked about that for like fucking like an hour.
Ah shit, I was late.
But who is this? Who's talking?
Eskimo.
Eskimo.
All right, let me go over this real quick. Just for like 5 minutes, right? Scalping it open. Let's go to Netflix. It's an easier example. right here. Scalping at open. You want to make your resistance and support at pre-market if you want to enter a scalp, especially when it gaps up like this, right? This is support. This is resistance. This is resistance because if you look at this and it's already like 10 minutes before open and it gaps up and it reaches a top during the gap, you want to make that a resistance, right? So the reason why I wanted to get in Netflix was because Netflix was right here. So this room right here, this is a good enough room for me to prepare myself to enter or exit. So what I did was I saw these two candles, right? So I tried to break. I saw these two candles attempt to break. And then when the market opened, price went down here. Got rejected, went back up, volume increased. As soon as this broke, I bought 10, right? As soon as it broke. For me, I bought 10 as soon as it broke. I don't know if I got filled right here. I probably got filled like right here. I probably got filled like right there, entering here, or maybe like right here. It depends. I'm not really sure, but so as soon as I ride it up, I ride the momentum up. As soon as I see some sort of selling pressure at all in that candle, that's when I cut. That's when I cut or I trim it. So from 10, I'll go down. I'll cut like 5, right? I'll cut 5 here as soon as this happens. And then usually as this is happening, this is forming. So I'm not really losing anything because as I'm trying to cut it, the next candle is already forming. So I cut 5, so I have another 5. So when this candle forms, and then when I see another rejection like this, especially like this one, as soon as it hits it and then goes back down, I'll cut it again. That's a good cut because I cut profit here instead of waiting for it to form all the way down. Because if I waited for this candle to form and I waited for this candle, I would have just sold everything else because I don't want to wait that long. I'm not trying to be in there for 5 minutes. I'm trying to catch the first momentum, trying to catch all the fucking volatility, all the volume, and that's it. And then I'll get out and then I'll wait for another opportunity like this flag right here. This is a good this flag. I'll wait for this whole flag to form because obviously if you make a trend line from here to here, you can extend it out and you can see that. You can see the price action happening before your eyes. It's rejecting, it's rejecting down here, rejecting up here, rejecting down here, rejecting up here. And then you also want to look at the volume, right? This volume right here. You can actually do this if you really want to. You can make a little thing right here. See the volume is fucking dying. It's not that much, right? And then you see the volume start increasing, right? Right here. As soon as it broke, this is when you can get into another scalp right here. As soon as it breaks, right? Because the volume started increasing, boom. And then you can size up right here. You can size up or trim, whatever you want. Because then you can see that it's trying to form that momentum to try to reach the next resistance level. Does that make sense, Eskimo?
Yeah.
So let's say the one thing people do wrong, like this is the one thing that I do wrong sometimes too. So usually you want to first get into like 1 or maybe 2, two contracts, and then you want to go up to 5, right? Then you want to go up to 5, and then if you want to size up again, you can add 10. That's like the best way to do it. Instead of buying 20, right when a breakout happens, don't just buy 20. Go from 1 to 5 to 10, 2, 3 to 6, depending on how much you can afford and how much you want to risk. Also, if it's like late in the day, sometimes people are like, hey, is there any scalps that I can look at, whatever? if it's already like 2 hours into market, in my opinion, there's really no point because you can get fucked even more. By the time the time it takes me to tell somebody to get something, that the price action can happen within that frame. Does that make sense? Like if you ask me like, hey, let's say it's 2 hours after the market opens. Hey, is there any scalps I can look at, right? And then right here, let's say you ask me like right here, right here, and it's breaking. You're like, hey, is there any scalps I can look at? So I'm looking at this, right? There's no fucking volume here, bro. Right? There's no volume here. So once you see this big candle form, you're like, all right, I'm gonna get into a scalp, right? You're gonna get filled in like right here. You're gonna get in fucking whatever, however many contracts, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The prices goes down. What are you gonna do immediately? What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to cut it, right?
Yep.
So my point is, for me personally, there's no reason why I would want to scalp and tell somebody else to do it when the market's already been open for 2-3 hours, because there's not enough volume unless it's like power hour, right, where the volume increases.
That's why they tell you to trade, the most active times of the day, 9:30 to 10:30, and then they say
like look at this fucking
4.
volume bar right here. This is insane. This is a good scalp right there.
Oh man, dude, that's a big move.
What did I trade today? What else? Google. I traded Google too.
So pretty much at the open, right?
Oh, look. I'm going to show you guys how I got into 3 different positions in first minute, right? I'm going to show you guys.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to show you guys right now. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I had it laid out this morning.
Just crazy.
Oh, God. You had all those up?
God damn.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, bro.
Look.
Yeah, I hope right? Daisy knows CPR for when you have that fucking seizure, dog.
Listen. You guys see that I have all these up, right? It's not like I'm looking at every single one of them, okay? I'm picking and choosing before the market opens, whatever looks good that's going on pre-market, right? I'm not just, my eyes isn't here. I don't have fucking 10 sets of eyes, bro. I can't look at what's going on all 4. I don't think people like mistake that. Let me just show you guys how I got in though, real quick. I got into let me see. What did I get in? I got in Tesla, Netflix, and Google, and the video.
Close the lid and walk away. It saves you time, it saves you hassle. Just one touch and SoClean does all the work for you. You can try SoClean risk-free for 30 nights. Even shipping is free. Plus, when you call right now, get $50 off.
Are you guys looking at my screen?
Yep.
This is how I got in the scalp today, right?
Now, so fast, so easy, so clean.
Let me show you guys how it would look on my screen as it's happening.
Smith, you got it.
Yo, Kev, how do I hop on the video share with this?
What do you mean? Oh, you can't see my screen?
No, I can see your screen, but I pulled up fucking something about that risk profile I want to show you.
Oh, you can't. You gotta. Oh, wait. Let me see.
Does anybody can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I don't have a camera. Damn. Sure.
I think you can screen share it.
You can screen you can't screen share because I'm hosting it basically.
Oh, right.
Unless
How
your
the
unless you turn your webcam or whatever your phone you're using and put it on your screen.
So how do you have your shit? Oh, because it's hosting you. That's why. All right.
Exactly.
Okay, I get it.
Let me turn on
Cells
good
right
market
there.
for this one.
Okay, if you want a quick tip real quick, when you go to the pointer icon, the pointing, if you like middle mouse button, on the top right, and if you click on the drawings and you press the delete next to the backspace, if you left click it.
Right here?
Hold on. No. Left click on the drawings. And then press delete next to the backspace. It'll delete that.
Oh.
Yeah. That way you don't have to right click and
Okay. I didn't know that. All right, cool.
Guys, quick question. I just joined the chat. For how long we've been doing this? It's almost over.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I don't have anywhere else to go, bro. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm a stay at home.
If you got
I'm a
questions,
stay at home guy.
Stay at home, dad.
I'm a stay at home fucking.
I mean,
TCX dad, baby.
I already had my days of craziness, bro.
I definitely have a lot of questions. Today was actually my first $100 for the first time.
Okay,
yeah, bro. Congrats.
So man, I don't know.
Hey, remember how many times you were fucking messaging me, bro? Like, remember how you were kind of scared to get into trading? You see how it like kind of feels now?
Yo,
it's like getting high, bro. When you score a big one, you're like your first like good trade, dude. It's like a fucking
all right, look,
high.
Okay. Let me show you guys how I got into NVIDIA, Google, Netflix, and Tesla all in 1 minute, real quick. It didn't all happen in 1 minute, right? I got in Google, NVIDIA, and Netflix, one after the other. So I was looking at Google, NVIDIA, and Netflix, right? You know why? You know why I didn't get into Tesla right away? Because of this candle right here. You see this wick? So at first this was red. Remember, understand that this was red first. This thing went down. You guys can see my mouse, right?
Yeah, right at the bottom.
You guys see my mouse? So right here. This was red at first, right? It was like this. It was like that. Forget about this green candle. At first it was this. So I was like, all right, fuck that. I'm not gonna look at that. So I looked at Google. I saw this immediately attempt to break it, right? Boom, I got in that. And then I saw Netflix. I saw this big ass volume 2 and it broke. I got that. And then I saw NVIDIA. When I was looking at NVIDIA, it dipped down 2 and then it went back up. As it was going back up, since I was already in Google and Netflix and I saw the futures pumping, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get in the video too. Why not, right? And then that's when I saw Tesla. That's when I saw Tesla start pumping, right? Boom, it broke this. That's when I got in. So listen, this is the most important part. As soon as I got in Tesla, I went back to Google and I went back to Netflix. What I was doing first is I was on Google. I was looking at the price action, and as soon as this broke and this opened up right here, I sold it. I immediately cut it right here, right? Because it's not, bro. It's not easy to manage fucking 4 positions at once, right? You gotta kind of get a feel of where you're gonna cut first, because you don't know what's gonna happen to one or the other. But like I said, Netflix, Google, and the video for the most part correlates with each other. So if one moves down, the other will move down, especially if there's no news on one of the names. So I cut Google first. I cut Google, and then cut Netflix. As soon as this wick formed, I remember I cut Netflix, right? Cut it like right here. And then Tesla, that's the one I let ride because that's the last thing that I had. So I got this candle, and then I held when this was happening. When you guys see this wick right here,
yeah.
When this was happening, I was in the process of cutting Google and Netflix. So You know, there's no way I can cut that while I was looking at this. So while this wick was happening, I was in the process of cutting Google and Netflix. By the time I was cutting Google and by the time I was done cutting Google and Netflix, Tesla was up here, right? Tesla was up here. And then when I saw this wick, when I saw the wick start to go down again, that's when I cut it. And then that's how I was done. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's how I did it today. I don't do that shit every single day, but that's how I did it today.
Bro, I give you props for trading like 4 stocks at a time. I did 2 earlier today, and that shit was hard as fuck.
Quick question for you guys. Is there any way, I know for a lot of people here actually work like me, is there any way for you to set up like an option limit, saying that when you're working and then you have a short option contract for like $3, and then they say you want to sell it at $4? Is there any way that you can do that?
Yeah. You would go and just go into the trade option, and you go to the limit sell, and then you'd set it for $4. Same thing if you're setting a stop, you'd go to, it's like, I don't know if it's stop limit. It's probably stop limit. And you type in the limit you want to stop at. Yeah, either or.
Yeah, I should do that tomorrow with like 20 contracts, huh? Just set it at $2. Cut it at $2.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can trail yours too, player. Don't forget that you could trail those. If you're scaling 15 contracts and you're shaving them off, dude, you could just set like 5 different trailing stop orders.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
I feel like tomorrow's gonna. Oh, you gotta get the scalping aspect of things, right?
Yeah.
Let me see what we were supposed to go over here, because I think we kind of went too deep into some things.
I think we just kind of also how people ask too. People are asking stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that's good though, because we were answering everyone's questions.
I hope you guys like just the dude, and the Greeks take a while to fucking understand, dude. It's all about hearing repetition of the same fucking.
Yeah, don't try to understand that shit. Cause when we're gonna go over it on Saturday, even like deeper, but like how we were mentioning it today, how James was talking about it. Don't get too overwhelmed with it, because I know it's overwhelming. Trust me, I've been there. Like, what the fuck? Vega, Theta, Gamma, Delta? What is this? Is it a fucking frat house?
Yeah, dude. It's funny. A couple little tricks that can make it a little better.
Yeah, what about swings?
Swings. Okay, let's go with swings. Is Roderick here?
Oh, he said the bad word. Oh, no.
Of course, bro.
Let's go.
Roderick, this is...
Where's Andrew?
Roderick's the swing predictor. What should we talk about? What swings were we looking at? UNH, huh? We were looking at UNH for a while.
Yeah, Grubb was a good play. I think I think it was Dan. I don't know if it was Dan.
Swings like overnight, you mean? Like holds overnight?
Yeah, holding more than one day.
Okay, I'll tell you my play that I did on Monday, I think it was. Look at NVIDIA, the 245 call for December 27th.
Let me take this off.
Yeah, I got you with this one. This one was a good play that I did. I made 500% almost on it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
All right. What
strike did you have?
245 call for NVIDIA for December 27 on this Monday. I got it. I'll show you. Okay.
Nice. Tell everyone why you got in. Like why you.
I got in NVIDIA. It was looking nice, and from what I know, the beta for NVIDIA is really high. So
what were you looking at? Were you looking at the daily chart? Or
I was looking at the daily and the 30-minute and overall, even the 3-year and 1 week chart. It looks like it's recovering, because from what I know from experience, NVIDIA is a great company that's always up running, and there was no point for it to be this low.
So okay, so stop there. So you were also thinking about the fundamentals of the stock.
Yeah, and that's just based off my use and what
that's
people
important
use.
too, because you need to understand the company as well. If you're gonna go out fucking a whole month, 2 months out, you gotta
don't buy a Ford stock or like trade Ford when everyone around you would use like a Toyota or a Tesla. It doesn't make sense in a way, because like focus on the stocks that you're like familiar with. Like for example, and Nvidia, I keep an eye on it because I use their parts on my PC and this and that and a bunch of stuff. So my eye is always on it, and from what I know, the price goes up and down a lot.
So technically, sorry that I cut you off. So technically, you're saying that we should be trading in stocks that we know.
Stocks that
Well, not
necessarily,
but you got to kind of understand how that company works. Because if you're gonna, okay, for example, this is a good example. If you're gonna trade fucking, okay, this is a great example. If you want to swing WWE, why do you want to swing WWE? Just because it looks good? You got to kind of look up how WWE is doing. Like, are they bringing enough money? You know what I mean? Because with the swing, you want to get the most profits as possible, right? You only have so much money in your account, so you gotta kind of get into a good swing that you can possibly, make bank off of, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and like that's why like you'll see that with constant battles with companies. Like right now, probably the biggest one we have going on in the market right now is it's streaming. The streaming companies are fucking huge. So you have Netflix ripping, Roku dumping, Roku up, you got Disney fucking flying out the gates. It's that's a big subscriber battle, but they're all showing progressive growth. And then with numbers keep rising, you know what I mean? That's why the potential profitability in those companies is huge. That's why these investors make these speculations on these stocks through the fundamentals of the company, which then should overlay into how their stock performs as well. That's why there's fundamental analysis and technical analysis.
That's why many cable companies the past few weeks or even months or years now have moved from like live TV channels to recorded ones on websites and DVRs, because they realized the growth of Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff, and they want to jump on the train as well, so they can make some profit as well, because they realize how big the market is for that stuff, and they want to get in on it too. That's why
the numbers
Spectrum, HBO, and Cox got in it now.
Also, why are we using different time frame? Why are some people use 5 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour daily?
Okay, well, it depends. Because look, if you're gonna swing something, obviously you're not gonna want to look at the 1 minute time frame, right? You want to look at the bigger picture, see how it's doing.
Yeah, like this
over the course of the year. Like for example, if you look at this, if this happened today, if this was this week, right? If this was this week right here, let me see. Let's see if it was this right here. Right. Oh, sorry. Let me see. You see this bounce right here?
I see
this bounce right here. So pretend this wasn't there, right? Pretend this big candle, this right here wasn't there. So pretend you're looking at Netflix. Okay, you see that there's support here, right? You see that it's formed a support here. It's been down literally from 420 to 232 in a matter of what? Fucking 6 months, right? 6-7 months. So at that point, you understand how much money the company's losing just because it's been going down for that long, right? And then usually what would happen is, maybe some news comes out, whatever. So when it's been down this much, when the stock's been beaten up this much, and it's a good company, bro, it's definitely something you want to look for to swing, especially if it found a decent enough support for the week, or even right here. Even if you don't even have to think about swinging it right here, you can. If you're looking at this candle, right, and it's this one, and this hasn't happened, that's a good fucking swing. You know why? You can make a fucking trend line down here. You can make a trend line. You can see it broke the trend line, right? You can see, look, okay,
say that.
That's a good fucking bounce right there. That's a good breakout. That's a good bounce. So that's a high probability swing, right?
You got to remember, long-term people, you got to think how many people are heavily invested in this company. You know what I mean? Big amounts of money are going into people investing in it. So they're going to want to grab, Netflix being the company that it is, they're going to want to grab it at the lowest possibility they can. So that's why you'll see that sell off. And then when it finally, it catches that break and come back up, that was an area of confluence, and investors are interested in grabbing the stock at that area. It's, it's a good average price for them to buy, X amount of shares or buy 100 calls contract so they can exercise at a better price and not get eaten by premium. Whole different gaps to that.
Kevin.
On the HD shirt.
What's up?
Go on the NVIDIA one real quick if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And then go on the options. The December 27 call for 2:45. December 27. Then view the
2:45. You said?
Yeah, 2:45 call.
This one.
Yeah. View the chart on it, like the chart that it has. Right.
Oh,
click
the
it.
option chain.
Yeah. I click it and let me show you. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Now this is the last week. So if you go on Monday, that's December 16. You can see where it was on December 16.
Right here.
Yeah. So I got in at when it was 0.16 cents, which means it was $16 a contract. I bought 5 of them at that moment. Then I think it was Tuesday morning, it got cheaper. The stock did not move as much, so the price went down more. So I decided to buy more because I still felt like the stock is gonna go up by December 27. So I bought 15 more contracts at 0.9 cents. It's the same call, 2:45 call for December 27. And since then, the stock I think moved about $8, right, or $6, isn't it? I'm not very sure, but since then,
Yeah, something like that. But the contract price shot the fuck up.
The contract price, if you take a line, you can probably see it's like 400%, almost probably.
Let me see. My bad.
It's like I think it was like 480% when I sold.
So for those who don't know, this is the option chain. This is the chart of the option of your actual premium, right?
Yeah, it moves
there's
like
a chart of there's a chart of the stock, and you can look at a chart of your option. So he was talking about he got in right here at around 16.
Yeah,
16. And then this day went down
So
right here, started down here.
If you look at NVIDIA's chart, you'll see that on
pull that up too, right next to
NVIDIA kind of traded sideways for a couple days, and you notice how the contract.
Hey, what day was it, Jackson?
It was Monday, then Tuesday.
Right here. When it formed the fucking
so it
triangle.
actually, yeah.
Right there.
You go on the 30-minute chart, it's gonna look way better, or on the 1 hour probably.
16. What day is that?
December 16th, Monday.
Oh, right here. Monday, right? You bought it Monday, right?
I bought in Monday for 0.16 cents. Yes.
You bought it at the end of the day or at the
at the morning. I'm pretty sure it was in the morning. I don't buy it at the end of the day.
Right here. You bought it right here then.
So somewhere out there, yeah. Like it was like 226, 227. Then next morning, then that day it was sideways the whole day. It was up 2 cents, down 2 cents. The next morning, because of the theta, the price for it went down a little bit, which is expected, and the price did not move.
Well, yeah. All right. So that's not just the theta killing you there. That when you talk about the price trading sideways or that area of confluence, when you have those short-term contracts, that big of people are just because the stock's not going down doesn't mean the options aren't being sold. Because people are selling those contracts all the time, and necessarily doesn't always affect the price of the stock. Now, if they're being exercised, it's a whole different fucking story. But for the most part, if it's just the contracts being bought and sold, when it's that low period, people are always selling. That's why you saw that drop. Even though if it was when it was sideways, that it was at its lowest point when it was sideways. That's where your Vega drops off. You'll notice implied volatility slightly drops. That's
implied volatility. Yeah, that also helped it. And then
when that rises, that juices your contract up.
Also,
So for the people who don't know, right? So basically, right? So James, so what you guys are saying was the implied volatility increased
when it increases
as the price went up and as the days went by.
Correct.
Right, as the buyers
Right.
started stepping in and looking at this, like, okay, I'm going to start
Yeah,
buying.
the market, the volatility increases because the market's starting to predict a bigger move.
Exactly, and then your premium starts getting even more expensive because then there's more people that's starting to get interested in that in that contract, right?
So
as the price went up, blah blah blah.
A little key term on that. So like when, there's been, how many times have we all looked at earnings and we see option prices, they're fucking outrageous, dude. When we look at the money straddle, if you look at, if it's this week or let's say, tomorrow's expiration, a company XYZ has earnings tomorrow, you look at the money straddle for that week, that will be, the options have already fucking priced in that move based off implied volatility. Like it already juiced everything up. So if the money straddle is trading for $20, it's predicting, the market's already telling you that the move is probably going to be somewhere around, give or take, $20. And you always take it on the ask when you're looking at the straddle. So that's a huge, move for us to have.
Let me ask you this question. Is that how you play earnings, like on your own?
I don't play. So I just use the straddle to figure out the, like, the amount, how big the projected move is. And then if I think, let's see how the trend is, how the company is doing, that's when you can start to predict. Okay. Then you can go a little further.
Hey,
out
so okay. So let me say something. So let's say Bob wants to get in Ulta earnings, right? Let's say Ulta earnings is in 3 days. And let's say for the expirations that are a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and a month out, range from 80% implied volatility to 100 fucking something percent, right? But then if you go 4 months out, let's say, implied volatility is at 30. So what do you think will happen if he bought the expiration that has 100% implied volatility compared to the one that's 30% implied volatility, which is 4 months away? Well, what's going to happen in terms of the profit that he's going to get if it goes in his direction when you compare the two contracts together?
Get the IV crush, baby.
Let me just say this.
So the contract that he bought that would expire next week would be fucking worth shit.
Yeah, so if the
right now
move's not bigger than that projected move, that's where the vol crush comes. That's where
options.
Premium sellers make their most money. So people who sell option contracts and don't buy them, they like to go short. That's what they do. They make their most money off of usually those earnings events because people are like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm bullish, shop earnings. Okay, well then people are selling at the money straddles. Maybe you're going to run them $2,000, dude, but they're going to collect all that fucking premium when everybody loses it and the stock goes nowhere.
Okay.
It just stays trading in between a certain range.
Kevin, press on analyze next to trade real quick. And then the last one is like earnings. It's called earnings all the way at the end. Yeah, and then press Tesla in there, write it down. This is one way for me to predict the move of a stock is to check the last two years almost. It shows you each quarter how much did it move when the earnings, and the line in the middle of each box shows you like exactly what happened once the earnings was released. Like in Q2 for this year, I got fucked because I bought calls for Tesla, and the stock went down $30.
Nice.
I don't know why I do it. Tesla's one of the most shorted stocks, too, but I'm
yeah. Hey, did you see the short interest though now?
Oh, how it's changed.
30%, isn't it?
Changed, bro. It's changed. All these bears go on StockTwits, shit like that. StockTwits is actually the place where you're gonna find the most fucking options ever.
I took a 350 put on Tesla for next week, and it's already up 50%. It cost me $24, and it's up to 36. So.
Okay, but is it up because the price went down, or is it up because of the implied volatility went up?
That's what I want to know and figure out and be able to.
Okay, Kevin, go on the trade. Go on trade for Tesla, and then press where it says delta gamma, all that stuff. Perfect on it. Okay, just go back on it. Okay, what day is it on the contract that you have?
The 27th.
The 27th, and it's 350 put. Can you go to strikes?
Yep.
Wait, no, my bad. Let me go down.
It's all good.
Got it.
Dude, 727. 350?
Yeah.
Wait, am I blind? Oh, right here.
Okay, you said you bought it at 25, right?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah.
24. You bought it at 24.
bought it
Okay.
at 24. Okay.
And when did you buy it? Do you know like a day or a time?
Earlier today.
Okay. Did the price go down since you bought it? Or has it stayed the same or a bit in range?
It went down to only 22, and then it
No,
started.
like I mean the stock price, not the contract.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't watching it. I was at work, but it went up.
Right here, Tesla.
And, let's see, it went up. And just kind of hovered around 403, 404, close. So it didn't really go down much, or at all. It kind of pulled back up, even. But the stock contract, I'll take a picture of it, send it to chat right now. And then
look at all the bears that got fucked.
So look at the difference in pattern. I'm sending it in chat.
Oh my, I know,
dude. That's crazy. 2,700. All the way down to fucking. $0.2, $20.
Yeah, dude. That's just an increase in why probably bump up, or people just overbidding the ask bid.
Why is it?
I think it's. What was? Did I get muted?
No. You're fine.
It was me because I'm in my car right now, so I just realized I had you playing through my stereo.
Oh, okay.
That's why I keep muting myself when I'm done talking.
That's a good thing you do that, dude, because like, oh, my way to like to and from work, dude, I got a 2-hour ride home, dude. And I've listened to.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm in LA.
You just want to subconsciously learn that shit. Like even after a month of every day listening to a
back to
podcast.
West Hollywood right now.
Yeah, exactly. So you got plenty of time to listen to shit like this. That makes the biggest deal in your learning, dude. If you can use subconscious learning to quicken your process of learning options of the market or whatever, learning whatever, dude, it makes a big difference. That was like,
you know why Grubhub is a good swing?
Okay.
It's about to fill the gap right there that I had once the earnings report.
Yeah, I don't even think a lot of people are looking at this either.
I didn't even notice it.
I
Yeah,
heard you
so it
guys
has
call it
at
out
least
this morning.
$2 to go up right now.
what's their options chain look like, dude?
Go on the 4 hours real quick, Kevin.
Aren't they really cheap?
Yeah, they're really
Probably.
They're cheap as fuck, bro. They're really cheap. I'm up like 40, almost 50% today. Just off of that.
After show me the JN17 fucking option chain.
For Grubhub?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I bought.
Yeah, I like it because it's the monthly expiration.
January 17, I got this one. I got the 50. Well, it wasn't 50. It was like fucking 10 when I got it.
Nice. Kevin, remember when it dumped Tesla after the truck thing?
Yeah, bro. You know how my contract got.
I got lost
day,
so
bro.
much. Lost so much.
Check
money.
the January 17 next year, the 400 call. That
Dude,
day
wait,
when it
hold
dumped.
on. This is the gap down, right?
Yeah, that's the gap down.
This is how much that contract was worth, right?
$5 down.
$5.
So does contracts fill the gap? No,
Dude,
right?
that's crazy.
Not even close, yeah.
I don't even think it's gonna go all the way up like that.
No, because don't forget there's less time now.
Yeah, that's true.
So this can probably push up. Probably I'm guessing to like 140 maybe. It has the chance if it keeps going.
That's kind of a good example, dude. That gap down. I know there was a big move too, but like usually you'll see like when you're playing like monthly expirations, that like 30 day to like 45 days left to expiration. The Greeks move very, very nice, but once you get like under the 30, you'll start to kind of see like a drop off, like in theta, like it's like a weird little like change because now, you know, it's going from having plenty of time. For some reason, that 30-day period is like the cutoff, and you'll see like kind of a jump down in your contract if, you know, you're trading around the same level. And then when you get to like the last 2 weeks, that's when everything keeps accelerating faster and faster. You get to the last week and your Greeks are moving fast as fuck.
Kevin, check out the Tesla January 17 calls for 400 when the Tesla crashed, when it ate shit.
January 17th.
Who is this guy in the chat, dude? I'm fucking, I don't know everyone's voice.
Who, me?
No, you in TCI? You must be in TCI.
I have been here for a bit now, a month or so.
Okay, well, what's your name, dog?
Jackson.
Oh. No, I don't know.
What the?
You're still on the Grubhub, yeah.
You're talking about January calls or December 17 calls?
January 17 calls for 400.
Oh shit! People were going out that out.
I
wasn't even going.
Tell you what my cousin did. I'll explain it right now once you pull that up.
400?
Yeah, 400 calls for Tesla January 17.
Damn, $6 now.
Oh no, it was. You'll see.
I know. It was expensive. I know how much. I bet.
Is it January or the 24th? I'm not sure. We'll see right now.
I bet they were cheap as fuck, weren't they?
I think maybe it's the 24th.
24th?
Yeah. So it's the week after.
There's no 24th. It's 27th.
Oh yeah, that. My bad. Sorry.
400?
Yeah, the 400 call for January. Oh, not Kevin, not December. January. Next year. 17. There you go.
Oh no, you said 24. You want to look at 24?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was one of those. So let me see what's on right now. It's that one. Yeah. Yeah. If you view it back when Tesla ate shit the day it announced the truck.
Can't look at it.
You go on the 1 day chart. Yeah. If you look at this, on the day it announced the truck, it's obvious it's the one big red candle, the hammer. This one or the one after?
This one.
Yeah, it's that one.
Oh, this one. It was this one. It was this one.
Yeah. He bought on this one calls for I think he got filled in at 206. He bought 3 calls at 206 of those, and he said, "I believe in it. Like I think this truck is great." The same way Kevin went on it and saying this is going to be great, and I agree. And now 3 weeks ahead or so, not even like a week ahead almost. Look how much the contract has went up. It's 1,000%. He sold at 1980 today.
Dang.
Yeah.
He sold right after the open today.
No, he sold like 9 our time or 8:30.
Oh, okay. Dang, his contract went up big time.
1,000+.
How much did he profit? What was his profit? Tell you?
His profit, I think, was about 7,800 or something like that.
That was a good play.
I called him a dumbass for it. I was like, this is not going to reach 400 in 2 weeks. I called him a dumbass for this play. He calls me this morning, and he tells me, hey, check the charts. Push the dumbass now, and just hangs up. Like, that's literally what he did to me today. And I go on, I check it, and this is what I see.
That's insane.
That's a good having your own play. It works out.
What has been going? Okay, let's see. Let's look at UNH. We've been talking about UNH for the longest time. Look at UNH's contracts.
Shoot up.
From $14 all the way up to
almost 500.
Damn.
Now you also have to realize you're not always gonna hit those plays. Like maybe 1 out of 6 to 10 plays you might hit.
Yep, exactly.
But you also have to learn when to cut your losses and when to take your money. Like you might see this like contract shoot up like $30 in like 2 minutes, and your head is gonna say, "Let's wait for more." The moment you start to question yourself if you should hold it, that's the moment you should sell it. Once you like ask yourself, do I hold more or do I keep it? That's when you sell right away. That's how I do it personally.
Yo, Kev.
Yes.
Can you look at Tesla on the daily chart? It's only on its 3rd bar on the TTM squeeze.
Let me make this smaller.
Hey, what was the question again? What did that kid just ask? It fucking cut
He
out.
wants to look at the TTM squeeze on the 1 day chart.
Oh, I'm gonna let you have that. I don't really fuck with the TTM. I actually, dude, I
No,
fucked with
that's why I want
with
Roderick
John
too.
Carter
Roderick's
for a little.
really good at this.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That John Carter was the only reason why I got into the TTM squeeze.
Hold on, let me wait for him.
All right, let me grab my fucking sword.
Stop smoking, bro.
Vape God.
I just remember him saying that they normally have like a 8-bar breakout.
All right, before he steps in and talks about it, if he's here. But basically, TTM squeezes is you see these red dots.
Hey, bro, did you ask me something?
Oh yeah, Roderick, you're here. There you go.
That Axel?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All
What's
right,
up,
so
bro?
Can you talk to them about TTM squeezes and how you talked about it yesterday with the other group of people? That
What do they want to know about it?
How to use it. That's probably what they want.
how to use it, how you use it.
So TTM. I mean,
just
honestly,
tell me which chart you'd like me to look at too.
Pull up Beyond Meat on the daily.
Yo, Kev having PTSD right now.
Fuck this, bro.
Look at those lines,
let
bro.
me see real quick. Let me see the day that I got fucked.
Look at all those lines.
Dude, my heart is racing, dude. Look at that.
This day, it was after Halloween, bro. I remember Halloween. I was sad as fuck. I lost fucking 7
Hey, what is that little? Is that a ghost right there?
This
that fucking What is that?
Oh my god! Oh yeah, I lost Martin. I said, "Fuck this."
What is that? Fucking Korean for I got fucked?
Yeah, sure. I'm not Korean. But hey, look at this though. I think it's found a bottom. Honestly, I'm not swing something upside. But okay. Hold on.
All in.
Let me take all this off real quick. Cause can't see shit.
Just clear all of it, bro.
Sorry, guys. I had to step outside to help my little brother.
You said 1 day chart, right?
Yeah, go to the 1 day. Go to the beginning of Beyond when it first made that rally. Around that area, you'll see the red dots of the consolidation.
Oh yeah, I seen that earlier too. The TTM squeezing.
I think it's around July 9th.
Right here.
Yeah, all right. So this is when I first used the TTM. So the way the TTM works is it's basically the red dots are a indication that the stock is in heavy consolidation, which means that volatility is very low, which also means that the price of your contracts are going to be extremely low. So this is good for us because we can get in at a cheap price, right? Because we want to buy low, sell high. So we can get in at a cheap price, And once those red dots turn green, typically, that gives you an indication that the stock is beginning to break out of that consolidation, and implied volatility is increasing exceptionally. So basically, your money is being amplified drastically. So if you can break this down on the chart, different time frames, you can do the 1 day, the 5 minute, the 1 hour, 4 hour, so on and so forth. The bigger the time frame, the bigger the move. So like I was watching this on the daily, and I jumped in when it was when the dots were consolidating, when the dots were red, and theoretically you get 8 to 10 bars. So that's on the daily. That means that's 8 to 10 days of momentum.
Yeah.
So you can see that it actually worked. Now it doesn't work every time. Nothing in the stock market is for certain, but I've seen more times than not, like maybe 8 out of 10 times it works. And and dealing with the stock market, I'll take 80% chance of a win rate.
Exactly.
80% is yours.
Yeah, I mean, like even on the plays that I make off of squeezes, I probably win 80% of them.
Okay, let me just ask you this question. That I've never used this tactic before. That you use the pattern. What if it goes from red to like a red, like you see how right next to the blue is red right there? What if it goes like down like that? Does that mean
dark blue?
Not a dark blue. Like you see how like you have the consolidation at the red dots.
Yeah.
Okay. What if it doesn't go to blue right away? It goes straight to red. Okay. Can that happen with this in a sense or no?
What do you mean go straight to red? Like it's so it's red in consolidation, and then the dot turns green, and then you get the light blue histogram bars,
Like
right?
Oh, I
red
see
bar?
now. When it's dropping, it goes red. When it's going up, it goes green. I see. Okay.
You see that?
Yeah, I got it now.
And it works best when like a stock is trending. So like let's say a stock is trending to the upside and then it consolidates, right? That's usually what we wait for as breakout traders when we take these breakout trades. You want to see the consolidation, right? So if a stock is trending upwards and then it consolidates and you see it squeezing, which means that you see the red dots, you'll get. Typically, it works best when it is out of that consolidation to the upside for a continuation. So it gets kind of weird when you see a stock going to the upside and it squeezes and then it fires to the downside, right? Instead of firing to the upside. This is where swing trading can get kind of tricky when doing it, because nothing's for certain in the stock market. Like you could get some kind of news or anything can throw that off. But like take NVIDIA for instance, me and Kev was talking about this for like the longest. You could take SHOP, you could take NVIDIA, you could take Tesla, you could take any of these tickers.
This box is when it squeezed. This is the box when it's squeezed on the daily.
And then check it out. Like right now, we're still getting a release from NVIDIA. I think it's like, what is it, like on the 6th day or something like that?
I think it's about the 3rd day or so. Yeah. Well.
So theoretically, we still can see more. It doesn't mean that we're gonna see more, but I mean,
we're more
if
likely
you would have jumped in, like you said that you're swinging in video, right? If you would have jumped in on those red bars and you would have swung this like 2 month out, like you would be eating like really good right now.
Yeah.
Or you can.
He said maybe this is a dumb question. Can you explain what you mean when you say it is getting squeezed?
Squeeze is just heavy consolidation.
When the stock wants to go up or down, like it's just like trades like
it's
the same range for a while. Yeah.
Also, if you're using EMA lines, if you see the, for example, all of the EMA, like to the 9, the 13, 50, whatever, squeeze, like they come together, that's also a squeeze as well.
You'll see if you use the Bollinger Bands too. You'll notice Bollinger Bands.
Yeah, I used to use that so much.
They'll come in. They'll come in and go real narrow, and then they'll expand. And then if you're a price action trader, you'll kind of see in the middle of that in the video screen right there. You'll see a good consolidation period right there. you know, it's just that tight areas right before a breakout. Like the market's gearing up. It's, you know, the buyers and sellers are mixed. So it's looking for one to take full control, you know, obviously depending where it is on the chart. But you'll see it most common in trends on that pull, you know, almost like the pullbacks on a long, you know, if you're looking at the weekly and you see pullbacks, or the daily, you'll see pullbacks, you know, it's almost like conjumbled for a little, and then the breakout comes, and then it, you know, consolidates again, and then the breakout comes, you know, to whatever direction.
I heard somebody talking about Bollinger Bands, like the makeup of the squeeze. That was, like, you hit it dead on. The makeup of the squeeze is actually, like, if you were coding this, it would be the Kettler channels. So anytime that, and of course it's like coded with some other stuff, but anytime that you get a stock that's trading inside of those Kettler channels, that's pretty much what this squeeze is. Dr.
Carter. John Carter, right?
Carter, yes, thank you so much. Dr. Carter found a way to code the Kettler channel and to give it a color ID for us so that we can see when it's trading in that range. So that's all that it really is. It's just it's trading in that Kettler channel, and then it explodes. And then us as scalpers, traders, swing traders, whatever, we try to capitalize on that.
Do you guys also use the TTM squeeze for like smaller time frames, like the 15 or the 30?
Yeah, I think it should work for all time.
I do that too sometimes.
For me, when it's a short time frame, like a scope, like really fast.
Like, look at this. Look at this, for example. Just real quick. Look at this. Squeeze pre-market, right? Right here.
Yep.
Let me take this off because it's kind of distracting now at this point. Look, see how it's squeezed pre-market, then it released.
Wow, dude, look at that.
But I mean, you don't want to rely. You don't want to rely, like you said, you don't want to rely on the squeeze, but it helps you. It helps you to kind of, you know, all right, I might hold this. This is a good example of like, oh, I'm okay. Since it's already breaking out of the squeeze, obviously in the up direction. Oh, I should, you know, hold this. Like, for example, if you got in here, right? You got in, you looked at the squeeze, all right, you got in because it broke resistance and it's breaking out of the squeeze, you got in. Okay, so now you're up here. You'd be like, all right, should I take profits or not? But then you look at the squeeze, you're like, oh, it's only, you know, been like 2 green circles or whatever, and the price still looks like the volume is still there. So that can also help you hold your position and give you a better conscious of why you're holding it. You know what I mean?
That's what I was saying back when I was talking about you want conviction on a trade. If you're using indicators like these, you now have, you know, oh, we have a break in the Bollinger Band. We have the, you know, the break or the squeeze coming out of the TTM squeeze. You know, we got break over this resistance. I mean, those are all factors where we have high volume. That's all factors that you now have for your trade. That's what makes a high probability setup. You have multiple factors gearing into why this trade has the probability that it has of being successful. That's the point of us being traders and having these tools.
Yeah, I was trading Facebook earlier today, and on the 30-minute chart, you can see it squeezing like at the beginning, like around 9:30 to like 10, well, at the opening, pretty much. And I got in, and it just exploded from there.
Actually, I caught the first break of Facebook, and then I sold at the consolidation.
This is
Yeah, dude, I did the same.
As NVIDIA. This is the same exact thing as I was showing you as an NVIDIA right now. See this? Squeeze, 30-minute squeeze, right at open.
Bang.
Boom. Big
See
bang.
that the second red candle right there? That's when I sold like an idiot.
This one?
Could have held that. Nah, the second one. The one right next to that, the red candle. I sold it there, and I was like, fuck. That's also the time when Roku like exploded out of nowhere too. So I couldn't like multitask.
Yeah, they got that weird good news.
But do you guys think Roku will fill in the gap?
Ooh, that's hard, dude.
Go on this chart right now for Roku.
Roku's been moving, but I mean, you never know. You never know. You never know.
I mentioned in chat, you know, I took my last day trade on NVIDIA when I was at $100 profit, and then Roku was, you know, not in profit, but then Moon later, and I was later up like $400, kicking myself.
Roku's right in the bottom of a fucking channel, and it's like actually slightly, like literally on the line.
Right, so it
slightly
might be better that I hold the swing, but it expires tomorrow.
Well, I mean, there's a good
I can
chance it
roll
couldn't
over.
hold this. If it trades sideways out of the channel, it's gonna be kind of odd because it's been in this channel for quite some time. Been in this channel for fucking 1, 2, 3. It's almost in its 4th month now of being in the channel. Yo, hey Kev, I'm gonna hop off, bro. I gotta go shower. I gotta be up at 5.
All right, how long has this been going on?
Shut up.
3 hours.
Hot minute.
I think it's been 3 hours.
I've been there since like 5.
Didn't even feel like 3 hours, bro.
Yeah, that fucking flew by, dude.
It really did.
Well, I hope you guys fucking learned a lot.
24-hour webinar.
Thank you guys a lot, man.
Yeah, I hope you guys did learn a lot because then now you should be more confident in what you're going to be looking at, things like that. Then we can dig deep into more like
And
options
don't worry,
on Saturday.
the timing in the market, you learn it over time of to do it
Yeah,
more in the
you learn
market.
it through experience,
And
through
your
experiencing
first
to what
account-
it's like to lose money, what it's like to make money, and then what it's like to not feel anything when you make or lose money.
And your first account, it has two rules. It has to be small, and you expect to lose every penny of it.
Yep.
Like no matter how high you might take that account, you're gonna lose it because you're gonna have momentum in your head saying, "Oh man, I'm gonna make this big play next and this big play."
All right, Kev, I'm
And
out.
within a minute, it's all
All right,
gone.
bro.
All right, peace out, buddy. I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna end it now. I'm gonna figure out what we can do. Like, I don't care if we do this tomorrow, whatever, you know what I mean. But it's just a matter of what topic can we talk about that we can extend in terms of like talking about it for like an hour or two. Because some topics you can just fucking cover it in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all right, it was nice. Speaking
Thank
to
you for
guys.
doing this, bro. Appreciate it. Really gave me some
appreciate
insight.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Kevin.
All right, guys. Not just me. Thank James, Roderick. You know what I mean? These guys are beasts. Fucking beasts. Everyone that's participated in this, thank you guys.
Thank you, boss.